and welcome to tonight's episode of Drachmae and Demigods, the Links of Tartarus campaign. I am Sammy Ferber, and I'll be your host for the evening. Welcome back to the Links of Tartarus campaign. If you're new, welcome. This is the Links of Tartarus Season 2, Episode 12. If you're a bit surprised by that, don't worry. All of our previous episodes are up on YouTube for your perusal at your leisure whenever you'd like. So go ahead and check all that out. You can watch all of Season 2 and all of Season 1 as well if you want full context on who these damn heroes are. But with all that said, let's get into the game. Because we missed last week, I'm ready to get back in. So, previously on the Links of Tartarus, the Hands of Fate returned from the underworld to find themselves in the Age of Darkness. After Apollo and Hephaestus had both died in the ritual that led to them descending to the place of Hades, the sun never rose again here on Gaia. By the time the party had all gathered back together here, 18 months had passed in this new age, and the entire world had changed. Dark organizations had taken control of much of the continent, and only a few of the party's allies had managed to hold on to some sort of power. Now, as Apollo and Hephaestus slowly grow in strength, not yet ready to show the world their new draconic forms, the Hands of Fate turn to their to-do list. With all the powerful foes of the gods rising, it was time to take some off the board. So, they turned their attention to Tromokratis, the Kraken Lord, the personal pet of Oceanus. Ryujin believed that his late mother Yue had stumbled upon an ancient relic called the Horn of Humanities, said to be able to summon the great Kraken to lay waste to cities, but that Yue had sold this relic to a woman named Elea the Collector on a small island called Apple's Folly. So the party went to Apple's Folly and found Elea, but this was no mere collector. Her collection contained some truly powerful and historically valuable items, and it was eventually revealed that Elea was not human, but was actually Evio the Bronze, the original bronze dragon. In disguise, Evio challenged the party to a quick fight in exchange for the horn, and the Hands of Fate quickly discovered that they were no match for this ancient dragon. Still, they managed to talk her out of just killing them outright, and even convinced her to potentially help them in the future if they came up against the ancient chromatic dragons. So, they got the Horn of Humanities, and Ryujin could feel the dark power it contains. What happens next is unclear. They had previously talked to King Theseus of Athens about potentially using Athens as their battlefield, with the protective Colossus at their back, but much is still up in the air. As we ended last session, the party teleported safely back to the roof of Sunbrow Manor in Delphi. Here, under the starry, red moonlit sky, we find ourselves. What are you doing?
Alright, so first things first, I think we should talk to Cora and whoever else we need to. We should definitely set up the scrying cauldron. I call first dibs. Alexios and I call first dibs. We need to look into something. And I'm a little forgetful. First, every time we take a 2-week break, I just forget everything.
Listen, I forget everything when we take a week break.
Before we brief Decora, do we want to decide our next step?
Oh, okay.
Or do
yes.
we want help from our? Because I can totally. I can give her the debrief if you guys are busy.
I'm not busy.
The debrief, you say?
I will say.
I was gonna debrief her on everything that happened. And let her know. It's just that it's easier for one person to tell as opposed to 5.
Is that all? Is the only reason that you want to be the one to debrief Cora?
It is 100% professional.
Sounds
like
Can I insight check that?
Sure, Alexios, make a deception or persuasion, whichever one's more accurate.
Deception or persuasion. Natural 20. Natural 20 for 26.
Well, I rolled a 19, but that puts me at 27.
Interesting. Plus the nat 20, but Anura beats you, so I'm just gonna roll a d20. If it's 11 or higher, Alexios wins. If it's 10 or lower, Anura wins. Anura, he's coming across as very professional, but also even he can't hide a little bit of color coming to his cheeks.
Yeah, okay, so as soon as, I see him start blushing, I'm just gonna, walk up to him and walk past him, elbow him in the ribs, and just be like, sure, purely professional.
Exactly, purely professional.
Well, if y'all haven't got anything besides, debriefing for, and y'all gotta do the stuff with the scrying cauldron, I'm gonna start making some potions, because I haven't been making healing potions in a while.
I also was gonna run by Alexios and Paloma and Cora and see if we could talk to the One Smote as well. All the smart, super intelligent, crafty people I know, and try to finalize all of those ideas for helping with the trap. Like the mines, water mines, and depth charge type things. That stuff. Just get those set so they can actually get started making them, whoever would make them. So I guess, what should we do first? Is there anything else we need to look into while we're here before we do anything else? What takes priority right now?
I need you to understand that even if we were to get mines and charges, and that'll be only the first thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not solely relying on that. I'm just saying this is one tiny step in the massive multi-step plan that we're gonna need. That we're slowly.
You said the word finalize.
Yeah, finalize the designs and stuff for the mines and that part of the trap, so we can get working on it and get one step closer to having a full, solid plan.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Did I say that like a normal human being?
No, that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
That makes 100% sense.
In the meantime, while we're trying to get the mines finalized, because that's going to take, even with the One Smote and Paloma and Alexios and a bunch of other people working on it, that would still take a good bit of time to design, I'm assuming. I don't know, that's not my area of expertise. What do we need to focus on in the meantime? Because we can't really do anything else as far as Tromokratis until we got that stuff.
Should we maybe talk to Theseus as well and see about what would be the best plan of action with the Colossus, if that would happen?
I think we need to know whether or not the mines are going to work before we can plan that out, though.
As long as they're not cold damage, and I assume maybe I don't know, thunder damage.
The spell is simple. I have a plan. Do we so I'm assuming the main point, or our main point of attack, would be the ship, the art.
We could try and get both of the ships to have some kind of fire from a couple spots. I would say if we do this near Athens, maybe have the ships in between the city shores and the Kraken. That way, if he tries to rush the city or something, it'd be maybe one ship. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would be a good?
I think both ships is a good idea. Tromokratis isn't going to be a pushover. Would be the right word, because we didn't think he was from the get-go. But it's not going to be an easy fight.
And I'll also just remind you a little bit about the layout of what you're talking about. In Athens, the Colossus stands facing the sea, sort of with the city at his back, but specifically he stands with one leg on each side of the entrance to what is essentially where the Athenian navy stores their ships, like the grand docks of Athens. So if you're planning on having your battle there, you could also potentially assume that whether or not they're helping you, there will also be at least some Athenian navy ships there.
Do they have cannons?
Most will.
Holy shit. Right. Noted.
Okay.
But that's, again, another ask, because ships in a Tromokratis fight might not last.
Yeah. Is there anything we can do to our ships to maybe... Because I know this is, like, a huge thing, and we don't have to, like, rush to do all of this. I'm just saying, like, it's at the top of at least my priority list most of the time, and I understand the prep phases for everything if we want to do this right and not take any more chances than we absolutely have to. This could take a little bit, which I get. You know, we can definitely do stuff while preparation is being done, like while the mines and stuff are getting worked on, while we're figuring out plans with Theseus, and without leaving, you know, Athens vulnerable to attacks or anything. You know, so
I think for our ship, we kind of went above and beyond when we designed the Arc of Fate. I don't think there's much else we can do at this point.
Listen, what about that guy way south that we never talked to? The legendary shipwright, whatever his nuts is.
Yeah, I've heard someone who could reinforce the ship, actually.
It's worth
Give us
checking
a
out.
little bit of
It could be part
armor.
of the prep phase.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
The legendary bosun individual way south of me. Something like that.
That's been a while since that was mentioned. I need a refresher on that.
It's been a while.
That was like... I think it was a bushwatch, like around that area.
Cassandra told me.
Oh, yeah.
She also told
So-
you that person was around the Hephaestus Island, so it's possible that they're still there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He also might be dead, though, considering what's happening out there.
You know what?
I mean,
Well, it's worth a check, maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, it's worth a check, but I just needed a refresher. I had no fucking clue who you were talking about for a second.
okay. It's a Kraken. Anything we can do, we should.
Yeah, you guys ever played Mass Effect? The second game?
The Hephaestus
Yes.
Islands?
Alright, well, there's...
Yes,
this is-
the ancient dice game Mass Effect.
No, I'm sorry. Okay, this is like... So, the game Mass Effect, it's... They just connected dots. Just hear me out for a second. So, towards the end of the game, there's like this big, basically, suicide mission you have to go and do, and if you don't do any of the prep work, or like reinforce your ship and all that, literally everybody dies. You do it, you succeed, but everyone dies. But if you do all these little, you know, annoying missions to do prep work, reinforce your hull, give you better guns, better engines and all that, almost everybody makes it out alive. So that's kind of how I picture this, is us, like, every single one of these little things that we could do gives us just, like, a way better chance, even if they're kind of, like, annoying to you.
I gotta say, that might be the first time one of these tangents has actually genuinely applied to the circumstance.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I like that this also could sound like it's in character almost, the way the tangent went. So, yes, you know, the game's so popular in ancient Greece,
Yeah.
Mass Effect.
Yes, Mass Effect's canon now. It's a thing.
So,
Mass
The
Effect is
Hephaestus
now
Islands?
canon. In
Those are the islands that are getting eaten,
God.
right?
The Hephaestus, yes.
I mean, and
Oh
It's
shit, maybe that's why
possible
Tromokratis is
everybody
going
else.
after the islands.
Yeah, I just
None
like
of
he
the
might be
remaining
dead.
islands are under our control.
That is correct. In general, the Hephaestus are mostly uninhabited, but because they're extremely volcanic. But the places where there are settlements are currently taken over by the Eyes of Gaia and the Cult of Tiamat.
I will say also for that, we're attempting to get this dude to help us defeat Tromokratis, but we're going to be sailing into the area that Tromokratis is currently attacking.
Hey,
We can
maybe
call-
we can get
Can't we
there,
call
you know,
Tromokratis
somehow
somewhere
without the
else and
ship,
then, like-
and I could teleport. Holy fuck! Wait, what if I just like teleported to the fucking somewhere far away, use the horn, and teleported back while we went?
Well, that also means wherever you teleport, wherever you go and use the horn, he's gonna destroy wherever that is.
yeah.
What if it's What if it's like at that Well,
What if it's
You
just
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll be moving him from where he's currently destroying things to a completely different part of Gaia.
Can't we
I
just think
do.
of like the barren islands where there's like no one?
I
The
will
barren
also
islands are
just
barren,
mention
right?
that Tromokratis is not an unintelligent creature, and if you keep using the horn to summon him to random places, he might eventually realize that his enemies have his horn.
there.
Yeah, don't
But if I only
don't
did
think
it
we wanna-
once, or maybe twice max,
Yeah, but if he
I'm not saying I'm gonna
realizes
abuse
there's no
and be
one,
like, oh, I'm over here, oh, I'm over here. I'm not gonna
he
think
also
that.
is a very ancient being. I'm pretty sure if we use it even once, he's going to know that someone who has the horn who's not supposed to have the horn.
Yeah, we should
Surfaces,
use
sniff
the
air.
horn
Yeah,
to
like
lure him into a situation
no,
that
you're
he
right, you're
can't get out of.
Yeah, so not just taking him wherever.
True.
Wait, so
Maybe
they said
so.
in legend it seems like he almost just appears wherever the horn is blown, right? So what if I blew the horn in the middle of the Colosseum full of water?
One way to find out.
I don't suggest that. We haven't had very good luck in Colosseums, if you remember.
Yeah, there's no
What
way
are
the
you
Colosseum
I
would be
have
big.
wonderful luck in Colosseums. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Mine's not so.
I don't
Okay.
think-
Looks to Ryujin. We don't have good luck in Colosseums.
Listen, I did until the last time.
Krakens can like surface for a long time, right?
Not for a long time, but you also know, like, there's a lot that's known about Krakens, and there's less that's known about Tromokratis himself, who is very much like a far augmented Kraken, so much that he doesn't even really resemble one anymore.
You want to summon a Kraken in the middle of a city.
It was a joke. I would actually.
Was it?
It remains to be seen. Okay, so
Okay, so when we put prep into motion, we can see about, or maybe we can put Trial and think about ship upgrade, see if she can follow the leads.
I don't think it'd be a smart idea to send a child of Poseidon into a place where Tromokratis is currently attacking.
I
Clone
Cassandra brought
child
this
of
person up-
Poseidon.
I'm dead. When Cassandra brought this up, did she like personally know the person, or was it like someone she had heard about?
It was someone she had heard about. She had never actually,
we
like, gotten anything from this person.
do we know what
She-
island it was?
Yeah,
Like,
would
would
she have
Ryujin know
known?
what island? Maybe like what specific? How close would it be to?
Check your notes. That's all the information you know.
But Adagio, you have to
Yeah.
understand that these
Or
are.
someone else is gonna have to look for that information because I guarantee I don't have it.
What was the question?
Where that island is, or where we think it is, the general location.
Sandra never told us exactly.
Well, yeah, not exactly, but a general area, I assume.
All she
Right?
told us was the Hephaestus Islands. That's all she told us.
Hmm.
Among them, and their legendary upgrades. Legendary. If you knew the guy, it wouldn't be legendary. You can't get legendary from Bob down the street. We have to find the guy. It takes a little legwork. It's okay. And we can
I'm
have
putting
try
them
it.
on the close list.
But these are like 2 full islands, plus the mini islands. I don't even have names.
Okay, so
Did Cassandra say it was a small island or like a normal size, like one of those bigger ones?
She said the Hephaestus.
That's
Sandra
literally all she said.
All right, so I'm going to talk to Cassandra. I'll follow up on that bit. Son of a bitch. Okay, so what should we do about the Link of Oceanus and Epio? Should we handle that after prep work? After Tromokratis? Should we try and risk it for the biscuit and find out some information on that before?
I think it should be after
Tromokratis is kind of like Oceanus's lapdog, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would rather not go up against Oceanus underwater with Tromokratis still on the board.
There, but if we get to the link and I get my hands on it and maybe everybody else, beep, middle of nowhere, looms, wherever, I don't know.
Is Loomis the middle of nowhere?
Not really.
I'm like, what?
I don't know. I just thought of a small town that we'd kind of all been to.
I just want to point out, like, almost every pitch you have had today involves a lot of death of innocence. We kind of
I'm
have
not
to
saying
mitigate
that we're
this
gonna
now.
like. Jesus. All right.
Okay.
Listen. You gotta take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm not very intelligent, but I'm not saying I want to kill a lot of people. I'm just saying like if shit were to hit the fan and we got our hands on the links, specifically myself, or if one of you had the helm, you could take said link out of the water on land. It would probably be easier to deal with, and also not maybe attract a giant kraken that likes to eat islands. Which brings me to my second point: can we somehow poison an island? How would that work?
Poison an island.
Another post.
Okay. So once again, that sounds like that involves a lot of death.
What if it's an abandoned island? What if there's no one there? Nothing. What? Coconut crabs?
Still a lot of death.
Okay. As the person in this group who actually cares about nature most of the time,
I totally
no.
advise him again.
Listen, you ever seen a coconut crab at nighttime? They kill anything. All right, they will eat a tire. Okay.
Okay,
But,
well,
whatever
as far
that
as
is.
also, can I just say, as far as the link of Oceanus goes, I personally would feel better if we have Tromokratis off the board, considering Oceanus is kind of mad at you currently. I don't think you having something to do with the link when he can call Tromokratis would be smart.
Why is
And another thing is, to me, I would think that Tromokratis has the link.
Yeah, that's very, very.
There's a very good
possible.
I
possibility.
feel like
of
if
that,
we look
so.
for the link, we're going to run into Tromokratis anyway.
And if
So
that
we
happens,
should-
like, if he does have the link, we should definitely do all of the prep work first.
Yeah,
because-
so let's
Yeah,
get
so
on to that.
what was the point of even mentioning
Okay, all right.
Nepheo yet?
Listen, because I wasn't sure what the plan was, and I just wanted to touch base on that. It's been a week, 2 weeks. Give me some slack.
Okay.
So
So then what should we do in the meantime? Prep work aside, should we go after dragons? Dragons do? Is that the sword? Or
Mhm.
Ice Point? Or is there anything else major that we need to take care of?
I
Well,
feel
the
like we need to figure out how long it's going to take to make all these things. And if it's going to take, like, it's just like a week, I don't even know if we can get much done other than just do the
I doubt
prep.
it'll be a week. I mean, if we're talking about formulating or like trying to finalize a massive trap plan that might involve Athens and Colossus and Theseus and maybe Athenian military, our ships, traps that haven't even really started getting worked on yet, all this crazy stuff. It's going to be more than a week.
yeah.
We're probably looking at upwards of
Yeah.
like a month.
I will say, Alexios, it's up to you on Dragon's Doom. Now that you have your swords, where do you stand on getting Dragon's Doom before we go to Ice Point?
Yeah, I'm down with Ice Point. I'm down with whatever. What do you guys want?
Andres and Terrace are great weapons, but Dragon's Doom has a purpose.
Well, yeah, Dragon's Doom is. My thing is if it's not Tiamat that we're going after directly at this point in time, and we're not going after the original chromatics right now, as far as we know, are you okay with bypassing getting Dragon's Doom for the time being and at least finding out what's happening at Ice Point first? It's up to you. You have more knowledge of dragons than any of us here.
We don't know if what dragon would be at Ice Point. I mean, it could be the Ancient. That's a very small chance. But Dragon's Doom is more effective against dragons, and on the off chance we do run into an Ancient, we would be completely helpless even with help.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, it's up to you. Like, we can go find out if it is the Ancient on that off chance, and then, just leave if it is. But it's up to you. If you think we need it, we will go find it.
We can go find Dragon's Doom and send like a group of our demigods to like case out the point, can't we? I mean, that's what we have the scrying portal thing for too. Can't we just can't we just have Cora and a team of people like stitch out the situation in Ice Point while we go do Dragon's Doom?
I mean,
I
I can
mean,
also do
we
that.
could, but there's also a good possibility if this is like the OG, like what, white chromatic dragon, that they could all die.
But then we're not the only people who could just like teleport at the instant of like a drop of a hat. And if it's like a pure recon team, like if there were just like a bunch of rogues or something, and they just like snuck in, took a look, oh my god, it's the ancient, and dipped.
But this
It's
is
not like we're telling them
We
to
do
engage.
have gates.
We're not telling them to engage. And if Lathos goes with them, he knows where it is.
okay.
Question: if Lathos
Stay there.
describes what he knows of the dragon, can I cast scrying to see?
Or Lathos
What's
could
up?
use the cauldron and scry on it himself.
Let me look
How
up
does
the
scry
specifics
work?
of the spell
I mean-
and get you a good answer.
I mean, I will say as far as like magic stuff, especially like scrying, I feel like it would go better for someone who is a magic user than someone who's not used to it.
Well, yep, the cauldron
Yeah, so
can be used by
you
anybody,
can
right?
scry on anything, but there's a different modifier based on how familiar you are with the subject.
How does
Okay.
it work with like if we tried scrying on Persephone, wouldn't she have like magic against like divination?
It's certainly
I'm like-
possible that someone of that power level would be able to just block it. But regardless,
Or the link.
if you're scrying on a target, they always make a wisdom save. You can just sort of assume, much like legendary creatures, that if you fail a save, you can choose to not fail it a couple times. You know.
So sorry, I'm trying to pull up scrying.
So if you've heard of a target secondhand, so like someone is telling you about something, they get a +5 to their wisdom save, in addition to whatever their normal modifier is. On a failed save, on a successful save, it just doesn't work.
I guess it's the shot, but the cauldron, only a druid or warlock can use it.
So yeah,
Okay.
I might just because I can just cast scrying outright. Can
Have warlocks outside of Ryujin on our group?
Cora's a warlock.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay, then the Cora would love
Can-
this.
Lathos describe the dragon to somebody and they draw it? Because that adds a connection for scry. Will that count for likeness?
Likeness or picture? I mean, it would depend on how good the drawing is, but like, also how differential can one white dragon look from another?
I mean, if they're also describing, if he describes where it's at,
It certainly couldn't hurt, but I wouldn't call
Okay.
it a Hail Mary.
it would be just like a
Okay.
possible help.
Yeah.
So who's the best drawer that we have in Delphi?
I draw sometimes. Boom, boom, boom.
Adagio.
Yeah,
My
I mean, it
character
would
will
come
draw
down to a
sometimes.
performance check, probably.
Oh,
So a
maybe-
bard.
Maybe
So,
I mean,
Eric's?
I could give it a shot.
yeah.
There's a
Can you
college
draw?
for it here.
Region has +9 to performance.
Isn't Cora
Okay.
like a master of things? Doesn't draw along that.
She can draw, yeah, she can
Let
draw.
me see. Let me look at my.
Draw portraits.
Cora's
Like,
perfect. She can do everything.
Performance
Oh my
is
God,
not
okay.
one of her skills per se. But yeah.
Let's go
Sorry,
get
I just
Lathos and get
said-
that drawing.
Cora's
Okay,
perfect.
while you guys
She
are
can
doing
do
that,
everything.
I
still feel
am
like we
going
should send a B team.
to
A
use
B
the
team would be so much
cauldron
fun.
and maybe go with Alexios to show Cora the cauldron and then leave them alone to debrief while I use it.
Are you using it to spy on Ringram?
None of your fucking business.
Well, okay, so you can draw. You have a plus. You're good at
All right,
drawing.
all right,
Why
all right,
don't
fine,
you
fine.
get the drawing and I will go scry on him because I can also use it.
This is personal, all right? I'm scrying on
I
the-
will also remind you that it's not just
Wait.
about using it, you have to attune to it, and only a druid or warlock
Oh.
can attune to it.
Never mind.
I mean, I
Okay,
can
well, I
unattune
can
to
still
something
just
temporarily,
straight up
just-
cast it.
Do you
It's
have
not
the
the
material
same.
components?
Message Remgrim.
Yeah,
Listen.
because he doesn't consume
Try to
it. You
find
just keep the
Ringram
scrying
until I-
component. And I
I've
bought
met
a
the
mirror
dude
a
before.
while
Just
ago.
let me
Wait,
threaten
hold
you
on,
via
hold on,
message.
hold on. Too many people talking at once. What happened? What'd you say, Alexios? What?
Don't try to find Rangram until I'm there.
Okay, fair. We'll wait.
Okay,
All right.
so let Alexios do his debrief. Let's get the drawing, and then we'll figure out where we stand with scrying for Ringram.
Okay.
And if what's gonna use. Let's get the drawing. Let Alexios debrief.
No, I want to
with
go to the debrief too. I like talking to Cora. And not for that reason.
I'm gonna like lean over
For
to
what
Adaji
reason?
and go, let them have some
Say
alone
what?
time, man.
I'm trying to save the world.
What about
It's
you?
not-
But let them have this one thing in the middle of like the hell on earth.
Well, if he doesn't ask the right questions, I'm blaming you.
Isn't this just a debrief? What are you guys talking about?
There's no right questions right now. He's
There
just
are
telling her
all
what
the right
happened.
questions. Only Athena and possibly Cora know about the people of the Oasis and where the blade could be.
If you're busy, I can just literally ask her tell me what questions to ask her.
That's it. That was my only question.
That was literally all of Adagio's questions.
That was all of my planning over the last 2 weeks.
Ask her about the
Blade was.
Oasis and find out where the blade might be.
The Dragon's Horde.
Okay,
Sammy,
so
what weapon does the
Ilya
Colossus
said,
use again?
What region?
What weapon does the Colossus use again? Is it like a sword and a shield, or like a spear and a shield?
Yeah,
or
it's
something?
it's a giant ass sword and shield, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you have no idea. I mean, like, you've never seen the Colossus in action. You have no idea what other sort of tricks it has up its sleeve or anything like that.
But it's still do fun.
Oasis, where's the
Protect babies
blade?
and health.
Ilya said that there's a bunch of entrances on the Divine Battlefield.
But I could know where like a permanent one or one
So-
that pops up frequently is.
This dragon
so-
that we're gonna seek out is basically the paranoid sibling of these dragons that created entrances and then wiped them and created a new one and then wiped them and made a new one.
No, that would be she would be the dead sibling out of the
I
five.
need a flow chart
Remgram
to
died, right?
explain how
Not
this
Remgram,
works.
Jesus, rear move.
Hold on,
Died, right?
hold on. What's the confusion, Nora?
The way that the wipe them out and bring them back, I need to know where this dragon stands in
Gotcha.
the hierarchy as what we're at now.
So some people are talking about two different dragons, which is where it's getting confusing. If you're looking to try to get Dragon's Doom, and you're going under the Divine Battlefield, that's where it's supposedly stored. What you know about that dragon and that dragon's horde is that that dragon, which is one of the ancient metallics, would create lots of like secret entrances and exits, and then would like redo that a lot. So a lot of entrances that no longer are open and that sort of thing. But this is also the dragon that Evio mentioned that they've all lost contact with, and that they presume is dead.
Thank
So-
you. I
Yeah.
was so confused.
Is there like a Tiamat version of the metallic dragons?
They're
The
never
chromatic
needed
dragon.
to be. They're never needed to be.
Wait,
But wouldn't that be so cool?
oh wait.
And in other settings, there is. Her name is Bahamut, but not in this setting.
We don't need any more problems.
So we prep for demolition when we go to the Divine Battlefield. We prep to move stuff. We, some dispelling magic would be.
I always have a counter spell and dispel magic and detect magic ready.
I always have a snarky attitude, ready to quit.
I'll bring forge. I can make them bigger. I mean,
I
you
can make
clean
sure
out.
I have a bunch of utility spells for like moving stuff around.
So immediate concerns.
Indiana Jones.
Talking to Cora, getting the drawing so we can try to scry and see what's going on in Ice Point. And then after that,
I have a
talk
question
to
on
some people
scrying.
about.
We go to
What's
sleep.
your question on scrying?
I can't just like scry on Ice Point in like general and just like like zoom in like if it's a map and just like la 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 like just,
No,
like,
you scry on,
move
a person.
The Eye of
Oh,
Sauron
I
is just
can't
chilling
scry.
right over Ice
Scrying
Point.
Adagio?
What? I can't scry. I'm not that high of a. First of all, I'm not that high of a cleric. Second of all, I don't even know if I can learn that spell.
You just said like you
I said,
could
how
use...
does it work? I said, how does it?
Oh,
Can
I
I just
thought
like
you
scry
meant like
on
you
Ice Point in
could
general?
scry.
No,
My bad.
I'm only a level 7 cleric.
He's the son of Apollo.
And if I wanted
he could
to
probably
use,
see into the future.
if I wanted to use that little pouch thingy with like the herbs to like attempt to see a future, would it just be like regular fire? Would I just find like a quiet room and be like, light you on fire?
Yeah, I mean, like, you remember from your experience in Athens when you first saw this in action, that you think it'll probably be helpful to be in a quiet, isolated place to get to a nice state of mind, and then to light it on fire and allow it to sort of take over.
So like that island that only I can reach because it belongs to the oracles.
Sure, that'd be a great spot.
Yeah.
Yo, I have another fantastic pop culture reference for scrying. Are you ready? So
Scared.
in Stranger Things, when Eleven is in the tub
Yes.
with the thing on, that's like in my mind. That's what flashes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And
Yeah.
she
I mean,
needs to
I'm
look
in
at a
Harry
person.
Potter with it, which is just
Yeah.
whenever,
Hey, you're on
Trelawney goes to
fire.
give a prophecy and she doesn't sound like herself, and she just like comes back randomly. It's like, oh, what did you say?
That is more of what Adagio's talking about, but in terms of scrying, Ryujin, that's dead on.
I love it.
I'm making
And then-
sense tonight. Let's go.
Oh
And then-
yeah.
We've entered the
I-
Twilight Zone.
Demi, like how much scrying would you? And I just like, I don't know. I feel like they're like if I was like I want to see this and you're like no, I'm like oh what a waste of herbs.
I would say, much like the fates themselves, the future is fluid, and oftentimes what you hope to see and what you go into a divination session hoping to see may or may not be what you end up seeing, but what you end up seeing will be what you need to see, is sort of
That's
how
damn
it
it.
feels, you know?
Okay, so I say we do the battlefield and then ice point so that those missions don't fuck with my futures. I just want to see where the stupid link is. The prophecy
Let's
link.
for a debrief, Alexios, Honora, myself, whoever else is coming, we'll go get the drawing done, and then we'll figure out whatever we need to do from there.
Can we make it a drawing contest just so you can draw this dragon the best?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also go over to the Bard's College and just have a bunch of people drawing it.
Holy
Like
shit.
Honora's ex.
Yeah. Lasandra the Talker. You haven't followed up on where she's at in this
Zero.
new age.
Lasandra the
In my
drawer?
defense, I kind of had a lot on my plate.
It's true. She's not your top priority, nor should she be.
Did somebody say a plate? I pull out the most amazing
I
thing
forgot
you've ever
about the
seen.
plates.
I still have like 11 plates in my pack, just
All right,
jingling around.
so you guys have just been standing on the roof of your house this entire time.
Yes.
What's
we have.
happening first?
Yes. Let's
I'm gonna grab Ryujin
We're
and
breaking.
whoever else wants to go. Let's go find Lathos and go to the Bard's College.
do we know where Lathos is?
He's been staying at the house.
Then yeah, let's go. Let's scavenge hunt for a white-haired giant man with an axe.
Not hard.
It's
It's
not really hard,
actually you can figure out where he is before even walking into the building, as you can hear some sounds, like some grunts and metal slashing in the backyard, and you can see that Lathos is out here in the dark, training in the dark.
Can we just lean over the like? Lathos,
Lathos, we
Ah.
got where be.
come here.
Do I have to?
Yes.
You're the only one who can help with this, so yes.
And it's
Okay.
not-
Give me a second. Within a few moments, he's up on the roof with you. You see he's sweating, and he's grabbed a cloth, and he's sort of wiping himself off.
Dope. I have a pen. I have like a drawing utensil and like 13 pieces of parchment that I somehow got, and I'm ready to draw.
Well, we're not doing this here. We're okay. I'll
Uh,
explain. We're heading over to the Bard's College to get some extra help. I'll explain on the way over there.
well, no. Then.
Okay.
I've missed Lathos so much.
Alright, so who's going to the Bard College? It's Anura and Ryujin. Anyone else? Adagio?
Adagio.
Be out of his house, I think, is what he said on Discord.
Oh, Adagio's gone.
Let me check and see if that's what he said exactly, but I think that's what he said.
Cool.
Yeah,
Looks
you
like the
were
power went completely out in the
So
house.
let's say Adagio's going with you guys. But as we're waiting for that to happen, Alexios Ilme, what are you guys doing?
I guess I could go with them, the Bard College.
Okay, sure. So, Alexios, what are you doing?
I'm going to see if I can find Cora. I'd go to the throne room. Is it a throne room?
So, sort of. It can be colloquially referred to as a throne room. But she's
Wherever
not there.
her big chair is.
Yeah,
Is
but
it
you do
basically the
find
war
that
room?
she is in the kitchen right now, just like, looks like she's sort of raiding the cabinets and just finding a little something, a little nourishment.
Are there people around?
Not right now. I mean, in the house, yes. In the room, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just walk
you're
up to
back.
her. Yeah. We just got back from Apple's Folly. We've put in motion plans to capture and kill Tromokratis. It was a bit of a bump. We met a dragon.
Oh, all right. Casual.
Expressly told us that we'd die on this particular endeavor. So we're at the drawing board phase.
All right. How can I help?
We have a couple ideas actually. Ryujin had some a couple traps that'll happen in the water. We've asked I don't know why his name escapes me right now.
Theseus.
Theseus, thank you. Theseus to stage the battle there, have the Colossuses back up.
In Athens.
Close to Athens.
All right.
It's still a work in progress.
Of course. I'm sure the Athenians will have lots of opinions on it.
Yeah, but we don't feel quite ready, so it's gonna be a planning. In the meantime, we're gonna check out what's going on with the cult and Mott. Try to handle that as best we can. Yeah, it's anything new on your side?
Much of the same, although Nariana has brought us a bit of a new report. She's our ally, who your friend was undercover with in the Eyes of Gaia. She says it's probably nothing, but is the first she's heard of this sort of rumbling that it seems like there is a bit of an increase in recent days, weeks, it's sort of unclear, of sorcerers. I wish I had more for you to go off, but it seems as if the normal rate for sorceress children to be born is increasing.
That's I may have a little insight on that. When we were in the underworld, we actually ran into a dragon. Well, two. Aruxa being one. But when we were down there, I ran into someone who seemed to have power similar to a dragon, and a dragon offered me power similarly. I don't know if that's the same, but I do know that they offer. I don't know if sorcery is the same as like a warlock, them offering your power directly.
I'm not sure. I mean, draconic sorcerers are a well-established trend, but what Nariana's reporting, and again, it's fairly recent and unclear, is that these new sorcerers that are sort of popping up don't get their power from draconic ancestry. It seems like they are sort of channeling the natural magic of the world.
Then it
manifesting
seems like they're expanding.
a bit, as if their minds are being infused with magical power.
That's troubling.
But they're also children. Nariana just wanted to report anything that was a bit odd, but it seems like the Eyes of Gaia are quite interested in these sorceress children. They're trying to collect as many as they can.
Would there be some sort of check involved to, like, see what that could mean? Investigation? I don't know.
Make just a blank intelligence check.
That's my
No.
jam.
The Umbrella Academy up in here.
Sort of, yeah.
That's my jam. What is it? Just regular intelligence?
Yeah.
17 plus... What's 17 plus 5? 23?
22.
Oh yeah, 22.
With that roll, I mean, you've done lots of research on the different kinds of ways to channel arcane magic. There are wizards who learn it from books, warlocks who gain arcane knowledge by making a deal with a powerful entity, bards who learn how to channel the power of music into arcane spells. There are artificers like you who learn how to sort of artificially create that sort of thing. Sorcerers are unique in the sense that they are born with a natural capability to perform arcane magic. But it's always based on something, whether it's dragon blood in their veins that has activated some sort of natural dormant magic, whether it's being born close to a dimensional rift and that sort of like natural magic getting absorbed into your body that way, whether it's something that happens to you at an extremely young age where you are in contact with a powerful entity that does not make a deal with you, but that you can sort of suction off some of their power. A lot of it's sort of unclear. But you've never heard of anything that... I mean, you've never heard that there's like a standard rate of sorcerers being born at any given time. Like, that's sort of unclear. So the fact that people are noticing an increase in sorcerers is interesting in and of itself, because that'd be just necessarily a hard thing to notice. But also that all of these sorcerers seem to be developing power in a very similar way is interesting, as depending on what the source of your sorceress power is, it can manifest in a lot of different ways. But the fact that these are all sort of happening at the same time and all manifesting in the same way is odd. With a role like that, I mean, you're not sure what's going on. The fear in your mind is that the arcane magic of the world might be reaching out to more and more people and getting stronger.
And these are chromatic dragon-esque things, or...
Not necessarily. I mean, both chromatic and metallic dragons create sorcerers all the time from their blood. They just are naturally magical creatures, but there are also plenty of sorcerers that have no connection to dragons whatsoever.
So,
No, I mean, this
sorcerers...
increase.
Sorry, go ahead.
The increase of sorcerers, is it strictly chromatic dragon-esque, or are they...
What do you mean?
You say they're, like...
Are they draconic bloodline sorcerers?
Yeah, you said
Oh, I see. No, it doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem like they are draconic sorcerers. It seems like they are being born or manifesting a natural ability to channel arcane magic through their minds.
Druid arcane kind of
No,
thing.
sorry, not natural as in magic of nature. Natural as in like the arcane ley lines of the world are just sort of naturally flowing into them.
Okay.
The weave of magical energy.
Yeah.
They're like a magic item.
They're almost like a magical conduit.
Sam, I have a question.
Yes.
Are sorcerers or are sorcerers not just like the magical jacks of Wizarding World?
Yeah.
Because they're just like, I'm born with it,
They're born
bitch.
with
What's
it,
up?
yeah.
Was that
They're
a
born
fucking
with it.
book?
Yeah.
What's that?
So
Also-
Alexios, I would say with a roll of 22, thinking worst case scenario, this makes you think less dragon and more Hecate.
Oh, great. It's like River Song in Doctor Who. She became a Time Lord because there was prolonged exposure to the vortex, and now she's just naturally that way.
Sure.
That makes sense. I understood. See, I feel like I understand pop culture references quite a bit. Not fucked up. So,
Listen, I do too, so.
So magic is more active.
It's possible.
Okay.
Hecate needs to get off her bullshit.
All right. So, should we collect children also?
I don't know if we're really that type, to be fair. I mean, if you want to, you're, I suppose, more than welcome to, although that makes us feel a bit like our enemies.
I don't want to,
not have
like,
the same
pick
conversation
up
about
the
staffing the manor at one point? About
it's
collecting
just-
kids?
No, okay, so if they're collecting children, should we, like, so every kid that...
what if we liberate the children that they've collected? Loophole, baby.
Everything I was gonna say sounded wrong. I was gonna
They
say
did.
every child that we snatch is one child that they can't snatch.
But to be fair, at least from Neriana's extremely limited report, it doesn't seem like the Eyes of Gaia quite know what they're doing either. They just find it fascinating and they want to collect them to see if there's more they can glean from them. But as of yet, at least to Neriana's knowledge, they aren't doing anything specific with them.
Okay, so they're not hurting the kids? We don't have to, like,
As far as
stage
she
some sort-
knows.
Okay, so... Okay. Okay.
Listen,
Magic
we've
is
already
why-
kidnapped kids to work in the manor before. We'll do it again if we gotta.
I mean, we
We've
didn't really
kidnapped
kidnap
kid?
the kid, right? We just like
We
offered
did
them.
at one point.
You did not
We
kidnap
were
Make that
anyone.
technically
reference,
sold
though, and
that
say, what,
kid
did
from
we
his
not?
uncle, right?
You guys aren't even there. Alexios, go on.
So... Okay, got... Understood. So, in summation, we have an artifact from we have an artifact that can lead Tromokratis to a particular place. We are planning that ambush slowly but surely. We have decided to set our sights on dragons for the meantime, or at least the one with the link. And we are planning an expedition to the Divine Battlefield.
That is a lot. Alright. How can I assist?
Actually, it would be dope if you could call a couple of demigods to help us.
Of course, whoever you'd like.
Alexios is thinking hard, but in real life, I forgot the two people who... We didn't decide on anybody, I just pitched people.
Yeah, we did nothing in this 2-week break to plan.
That's alright, make a call. You're the one in the room.
I had two people. I think it was no.
Teclis is the archer. The son of Hecate.
Okay, yes, Teclis is the archer. That was one, and
The Vanix?
I don't see why I did pick Vanix.
Vanix is the summoner, the conjurer, the son of Demeter. child of demeanor?
I think. Yeah, that one. Vanix. I almost said Eric's, but then I remember that was for something else.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know how long you're hoping to stay before you set out again. Vanix and Teclis are together currently on an expedition to feed some nearby towns, but I think they're only set to come back in a few days. But if it's urgent, I can have them teleported, but it's up to you.
I think the people might be a little bit more important. We can make a couple stops and talk to a couple people about the council idea that we have.
All right. And what should I tell them they're being recruited for?
I mean, I don't see why you would have to lie. We are trying to build a centralized council to better guide the Society of 100 Hands.
And what exactly do you need them for? What are they going to be doing?
Well, I'd say the information that they may or may not have would be highly useful, for one. I think if we give them official titles, it'll be a little bit easier to ask them for stuff, actually.
All right. Whatever you'd like.
I mean, if we were to, for instance, if we were to build a trap like this for Tromokratis, I think having the once smote readily able to offer advice would be more helpful. But then, if it's a battle at sea, Theseus would be helpful. So having them both in our corner would give us an extra advantage.
I agree.
So, having us readily able to communicate between us and those two specifically via some sort of hierarchy seems.
Don't you have magical means of contacting them?
Generally? No. Well, not the one smoke, but isn't he working on that?
Yes, but in the meantime, isn't your friend a cleric?
Oh, that's like 25 words. Like, I feel like I asked this question before, but when the one smoke stutters, does it count on the 25 words?
No, it does not count.
Oh, okay. I mean, can you... What, is this a bad idea? Am I like...
No, it's not a bad idea. I think it might take a long time to figure out and to get everything coordinated. This whole organization only works, and it barely works. But it only works because, as of yet, we haven't asked our allies to displace themselves or to change much about what they are already doing. We're just providing support where we can. I know you're not asking this, but there is certainly, I don't believe, a reality where all of our powerful allies would be in one room at the same time. I don't think that is realistic or safe. And I don't know the limits of technology that Alkmenos is working on. I don't. But even if we are able to figure out a way for us all to have a simultaneous meeting from different corners of the continent, it'll take a while to get all that in place.
So, what if you need some sort of help and we're not around to I mean, advise or help in any physical form.
Well, we have allies who are able to send you messages as well.
But what if we can't be there?
I'm not quite sure what you're asking.
If we're in a position where you or I don't know anyone else is in some sort of peril and we're across the world and we can't help someone, there's no one to help. We need someone watching you.
I will say, out of character, I left most of the gate stones in the house, assuming Cora found them and potentially has them in their possession. They have like 4 sets of gate stones?
Yeah.
These?
She actually smiles. She goes, Alexios, are you trying to be protective of me? You do realize I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself, and I've lasted this long because I know when to call in my allies. I have a sending stone that goes directly to a powerful arcanist who has the ability to teleport anywhere at any time.
I understand. Okay. So I told you about the dragon and what happened, and it somewhere in that battle it became apparent that everything that we may face may be beyond us. And if I can't protect myself, I can't protect anybody else, and that includes you, and you're not with me all the time. And I trust the One Smoke, and I trust Theseus, and I trust Odella, and at least Odella's here, and if that were to happen, they could be there for you.
Alexios, this war, when you left, when you all went down to the underworld, it was your fight. But a lot has changed. It's not just your fight anymore, it's all of our fights. This war will not be won with the 5 of you. It'll be won with all of us, working as equals. Now, I trust and respect your expertise and your experience. This was all started because of you and your friends. But we are not helpless citizens who you need to protect. We're here to help you. But we're all here for the same thing. And we're all capable. And we're all prepared to do whatever it takes to succeed.
I don't mean to offend you, and I didn't mean to imply that you can't take care of yourself. It's just that I saw my thread, and I'm here because it was supposed to happen, right? And what if it's not the same for you? And I died, and I was supposed to come back. And if you were to die, there's a chance that you may not. And there's just things, I mean, it wouldn't.
She kisses you.
There was a chance I might have died without that.
You're sweet. I know not all of us will make it out of this war. I've come to terms with that. And if I die, I don't come back, then I die. I'll know that I died aware of what I was doing. I died for something. And even if I die, the Platinum Owl, well, she's a symbol now, isn't she? Platinum Owl will live on, long after I'm gone.
You think I should get a nickname?
I think you're right for one. Can I just give you one piece of advice? Don't grieve your friends before they're dead. All that means that you'll grieve them twice.
You're more than a friend. Might be worth grieving more than twice. I mean, I'm sorry for being overprotective. Just stay safe.
You as well.
You know how Cora said she was going to give you some advice? I'm going to give you some advice from way out here somewhere at the College of Mars. Kiss her back, you idiot.
I assume he kissed her back.
Yeah.
He kept talking.
He allowed there to be a pause.
Yeah.
It just sounded like she kissed him and he kept talking while it was happening.
Alright, anything else, Alexios?
No. Oh, wait. Did I have something? No, I didn't have anything. I just thought about that. Nah, that's cool. I'm done.
There's
a cauldron.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to do anything with the cauldron?
Can I carry that? Will we be able to carry that? I pictured a huge cauldron.
Yeah, I mean, you could, like, carry it down the stairs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We have a cauldron. It can only be used by druids or warlocks. It scries. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. You have to, like, sit with it and, mull it over. Figure out everything that it does.
This is a gift.
Ryujin wants to use it. He has a bone to pick with a fucking sailor. I mean, it's mutual. But, our cauldron is your cauldron? You use our house.
That's true. Alright. Well, I'll have it put in the throne room, and we can use it whenever we'd like. Or perhaps in the war room.
Should we keep it secret?
It might be best. War room it is.
What did you do with the basement? Is it the same? Or no,
that's just a wine.
That's still a wine closet.
15 feet wide.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We had a lot of plans.
I'm sure you did.
Once upon a time, we held someone in that wine cellar. There was a link, but
All right.
whatever.
As we fade out on that conversation, we fade up to the rest of the four of you with Lathos as you make your way to the Lyre Song School in the training ground district. It doesn't take you long to. There's always just sort of students mulling about. Who wants to make an investigation check?
Or what?
To find the best students to draw this drawing.
Shouldn't we just ask for the best drawer? How are we
This role is to determine how successful you are at finding good artists.
Yep, makes sense. In my mind, I pictured something totally different because you said investigation. So, sorry, my bad. Yeah, I'm stupid.
Who's making it?
Like a +0 investigation.
Yeah, I have -1.
I'm a +8.
Yeah, Ilma's got me beat.
All right, Ilme, go ahead and roll an investigation check with advantage,
Ooh, with advantage?
since everyone is
while
helping you
Ilme-
do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
While Ilme is looking around for the best jar specifically, can I look for Chandra the Talker?
Yes, you go ahead and make your own investigation check on that, Nora.
Okay.
What has changed about this school? Does it look any different?
I
Is
mean, it does
more
look different
tense?
only because it's dark and everything is shaded red. But also this school, and you see the statue of the Muses in the front. This school is a place for light and creativity and brilliance, and in the absence of Apollo, the patron saint of all of that, there is definitely less life here. The students are still here, they're still learning, but it's almost like walking through a city after a tragedy. Everyone's going about their business, but there's definitely an air of difference.
I rolled a 25.
Okay, Anora?
21.
Okay, so I'll do Anora first. As you guys are all sort of talking to people trying to collect artists, it doesn't take long, Anora, for you to find out, to ask someone about Lysandra. She is no longer at the school. She has apparently taken to traveling across the continent with her new epic story, telling it in taverns to anyone who will listen. The story of Anura the Horned. You don't know if it's
As
any
soon
good.
As soon as I find that out, Adagio has met her, right?
Yeah, everyone's met her.
I want to go over to Adagio. I need you to do me a favor once we get done with this. But let's get this done with first.
Alright. So, Ilme, you got a 24, you said?
25.
25. You guys collect, let's see. You collect 7 students who, in addition to their magical abilities and instrumental abilities, are also artists as well. So, all 7 of them, along with any of you guys who would like to attempt to draw it, are welcome
Yes.
to. Who's going to attempt to draw?
Yes.
All right,
Not
Ryujin and Adagio are going to draw along with the 7 of them. So first, I'm going to roll for Lathos to see how good his description is of what makes this white dragon unique. And he mentions that, like, he only saw this dragon briefly before he was almost killed.
I'm going to give him guidance.
Okay. So he is going to make just an intelligence check plus your guidance to see how well he remembers and can communicate it.
And I'm also going to add to that depending on what you tell me it is. Don't tell me where the passes or failures, just tell me the number.
I'm going to tell you what my face just did when I rolled.
I want to bless us.
I'm going to
all.
add to that.
I want
ahead.
to bless us.
And
Add,
Adagio
add
myself.
everything that you're adding.
I'll bless myself, Ryujin, and Lathos.
Okay.
What
Fuck
about
those
me?
two.
What does that mean?
Why would I bless you? You're not doing anything.
That's fair. I add a 5 from me. He gets a D. Do I need to roll the D4 or are you rolling the D4?
For guidance,
Yeah.
you roll it.
Okay, I'll roll it. It's a 3 from guidance.
And then whatever he gets from blessed.
Is
That's
that a
like
plus what?
You why do you ask me these questions?
D4, isn't it?
I think it's
I
a
think it's a
D4.
D4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a D4.
Okay.
It's like,
Okay.
damn.
All right. So, Lathos gives a description of this dragon, and it's apparent fairly quickly that he is not that great with words, not that great with descriptive imagery. He talks about white scales and really big and sharp,
Can I?
scary teeth.
I want to get into detail and ask really specific questions. Like, okay, like what about the shape of the eyes? Like, where are the nostrils? Like in proportion to like, where, like just really like nitty-gritty questions to get like exact, minute details.
All right, let's see if he rolls any better this time.
With all that other stuff.
Give him guidance again.
Go ahead and roll it.
Still.
And then bless, right?
And then bless. I'm gonna add to it again as well.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled a 6 and a 4, so 10 in total for me.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So, you see, he's like sort of struggling. He's like, I mean, I don't look like a dragon. I don't know. And then he goes, well, it had like a scratch on its nose, like a scar.
What'd that look like? How long was that?
I don't know. It was like a scar that went like from one nostril and then like down its snout, sort of like it crossed its lips. I remember that.
The left nostril, the right nostril. Where was specific?
I've never been super good with my left and right.
Was it on this one or this one?
That
Think
one.
about when you're facing it. Put your hands up. Which one makes the L, Lathos?
All right, so with that has made a fairly high DC since it got a natural 2 on the first one. It's a fairly high DC, but I need everyone who's contributing to do a performance check to see how well you do on this. Now, because of the high investigation to get these people, they have fairly good modifiers. So all 7 of these students get a +4 to this roll.
Can I just say that I was drawing for the hell of it and see what happens?
Sure. All right,
I'm not
performance
good at
check
it,
from
but why
everyone.
not?
So we have bless, right? So
I only blessed me, Lathos, and Ryujin.
Yeah.
Because I did it at first level.
Yeah.
It's fine. There was no need to bless me. I'm not good at this. You said performance, right?
Holy
Yes.
shit. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, bad.
What'd you guys get?
So I rolled a 29 total.
Damn!
Not a natural 20. But with bless and my modifier, it's 29.
I
Adagio?
rolled a 20. I rolled an 18, and my normal is a +4, and then I rolled another 4 for the bless. So that's 26. I rolled 26, and I was very proud of the fact that I rolled an 18.
Anora?
I rolled a 12, but for someone who's not charismatic based, I'll take it.
Okay. So, you have, at the end of this, 10 beautiful drawings of various white dragons, but the one that looks like, that Lathos does a double take on and is like, oh, it's that, is Ryujin's.
Oh, did I
So-
slightly better than the students at least?
Sammy,
Yeah,
what you
most
meant
of
to
them.
say was, we have 9 beautiful drawings and Anora's.
Exactly.
If you guys...
No,
you guys
one of them
look
got a
really
natural 1.
closely-
One of them is drunk.
Oh,
If you guys look really closely, the writing utensil that Ryujin has actually has 3 points. It's a little mini trident quill, you know what I mean?
Love it.
And he has a beret and a pencil mustache drawn
Yes.
on.
I love it.
French
like
accent out
a-
of nowhere.
Yeah, like a little bandana type scarf tied around my neck, you know, a striped shirt, like the whole.
you know what?
Yeah.
What's
Can
the
we
point of
say you
having
drew
a
this
god
on a
whose father
plate?
Who's like in charge of these things? If I'm
Absolutely,
gonna lose to
I
Ryujin?
am totally good with it.
All right, so you now have a fairly good drawing of this white dragon.
Okay, I
I'm
want
gonna
to
take
thank
some
everybody.
wax and just like. Where am I gonna get wax from?
What are you talking about? What are you doing?
I don't know. I was gonna seal
You have to
like put
seal
wax
the
over it to
drawing
seal
on
it,
the plate.
so it doesn't get fucked up somehow, you know. So we can actually show people and have them like copy it and like maybe this is what we're looking for, you know.
I mean, it's on a plate. It's pretty set.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine. I mean, we're fine. It'll be
Yeah, and I mean, I'm about to scry using it anyway, so
That's fair.
Are we gonna do Have You Seen This Dragon?
yeah, definitely we'll get to Ice Point. Have you seen this dragon?
Put up wanted posters all around and like
Yeah.
the trees and stuff.
Okay, well, let's thank all the Bard students.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah.
They
Should we
asked for
offer
tips.
them? Should we offer them a fantastic musical production with several events of fate?
I mean, I don't have a good way to perform. I was just going to offer them like a gold each.
We can
They'll
give you
take
the
that.
heavy metal triangle.
I'm gonna just give them a gold each.
All right, you can mark off 7 gold, and they happily thank you and they sort of bow and head off.
Okay.
A lot of gold for like a drawing that we're not gonna use.
Yeah, that you ended up not needing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right,
Okay.
what are you guys doing?
So, I still need to get Paloma, Cora, and Alexios in a room. Somehow get a hold of one smoke and try and get those like depth charges and moored mines under production.
Right.
So, is there any? I mean, do you think? Would we know if there's any other like artificers that are in the ranks? I guess that we could.
Artificers are
kinda
still
have-
really new.
Okay.
There are only a few other artificers you know of. One of them is the champion of Hephaestus. And then there's the guy that got arrested in the Blood Shore.
He's for sure dead, right?
I mean,
Yeah, we're
maybe.
Oh man.
The only
Maybe.
artificers you know of in your ranks specifically are Alexios, Paloma, and the One Smoke.
Okay. Well, I say we head back. We do the scrying stuff, and after that, try and get these devices designed and on production.
But I had a question. Because
Mhm.
my power went out and I like missed like a good chunk of
Sure.
everything. Who are we enlisting to go? Wait, I like listened into like the part where we were picking people, but I was like, I don't know who we're picking or what for.
So, you didn't actually pick anyone for a task. Alexios picked Vanix and Teclis to just come back to help set up a council.
Oh.
Oh no.
What was
I wanted
happening
them to
there?
come with us. I wanted them to come with us to the divine battlefield.
You
Cora
said for the
Cora-
council,
Cora asked you what they were signing up for.
and you said for the council.
That's why I was so confused. I'm like, I didn't think that's what we were talking about.
Oh,
Wait, so who did we sign up?
listen, I know what I meant.
Okay,
Okay.
so
We did-
Vanix and Teclis are going to the divine battlefield with you. Okay.
Okay.
And Pickles.
We never claimed to be a smart group, okay?
I'll be
Oh
honest,
my
I was like,
God.
did I black
No, I
out
was-
a bit in that conversation? Because
Yeah,
I was a
nah,
bit
I was
lost.
pissed.
Which one's the child of the Oracle?
That's
Oh,
Krisa.
that's Krisa.
We bring that one too.
Oh, see,
There she
where
is.
were you? Where
I mean,
were
listen,
you?
it's still the same moment. Like you can always change your roster. I'll say that once the
I just wanna
other
talk to
four,
somebody.
once you guys have your image of the White Dragon, you head back to Sunbrown Manor as Alexios and Cora are finishing up their discussion. So you guys are you can feel free to do whatever you'd like.
Alexios, Cora, come with us.
I want
I
to
need
Like
to
a
talk-
run.
I have a request for Adagio. From before. You need us, Ryujin.
What?
I wanted to talk to Cora.
Yeah, what?
Okay, well I just need Adagio to send a message.
I mean,
Don't you have like
don't we need you to
messenger,
scry,
spirit,
or should we
level
use
five?
the cauldron to scry? I just wanted us all to be together so we can do this at the same time.
I mean, I'll scry for this because Cora has to attune to it before she can scry with it anyway.
Okay, so then, what are we doing first?
Let's get scrying out of the way. Adagio can send the message for me later.
Okay, since we're here, Cora, I want to ask Cora about this person whose name you just mentioned that I definitely remember. That's
Krisa?
Krisa.
Yeah, Krisa. There we go.
Yeah, what do you want to know about her?
I just want to know about Krisa's mother.
But I haven't asked much about her mother. I know she's a sort of prone to she has some divination ability. She
Boy, Nick Robos.
I believe she's from the territories, from the Spartan territories. I think from Orthia or something is what she said.
Oh, that's not them.
From what she has mentioned about her mother, it seems like she uses signs like palm reading and other sorts of cards and that sort of thing to divine what she uses.
She's my favorite. Like, if she mentors me, she'll be my favorite mentor. But she hasn't, like, seen anything of importance or, like, tried to pass along a message or, like,
Not
You guys haven't, like,
particularly.
attempted to, like,
the way I mean, when we first found her, that was my first question. The way that her divination works, she does not necessarily just sort of get visions or messages or anything like that, but if you pose her the question and she can then do whatever it is she does, she can then potentially give you an answer.
Where is she?
Her mother's still in Orthia.
Then where? Where is that?
It's, if you're looking at the map, it's right above Sparta, between Sparta and Arcadia.
Where is Sparta?
Bruh.
Where did we say she is?
Right now.
What was the name of this town?
Orthia? If you look at the thing
Orthia?
that says Spartan territories, it's right in the
Uh-huh.
middle of the thing that says
Oh
territories.
my god. It's like
It's
right
literally the biggest one.
there. Leave me alone. I literally, you said Sparta and I thought you meant the whole thing. I was like, bruh, the
No,
whole
no,
Sparta?
no.
I was like, not the town.
Yeah.
Unless she's right there, but this it's a Gaia. Okay, well, I'll have to contact that lady later.
Yeah.
That seems like a really cool way of, like, divination.
Mm-hmm. So, who are we scrying on?
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Scrying using the image from Lathos.
Okay. On the white dragon.
Yes.
Okay.
While this is going on, before, like, while Cora was talking,
Mm-hmm.
I canonically would just like to, like, show Lathos my cool new weapon and look at Lathos's, like, cool new weapon, and we're just, like, talking shop. Maybe Alexios chime in. We're just
I just want to immediately, I want to, like, immediately, like, blush red and be like, look at Ryujin just, like, hitting on my man.
Oh, that's cute. You all got new weapons, but I got 2.
I have, like, 4 in 1, so...
That's the
It's
one.
It'll
okay.
take like 10 minutes and they're like arguing in the background. When I get ready to start and I'm trying to concentrate, I'm just gonna turn around and go, shut up or talk quieter.
We also whispering.
Everybody's going.
Angry whispers.
It's still.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Starts fighting.
So, looking at the image of this dragon, you cast Scrying. What's your spell save?
It's an 18.
Okay. The dragon's going to choose to succeed.
Damn it. Did I get anything from the drawing?
It looks like a dragon.
Well, I'm talking about, like, did it help any?
Yeah. I mean, like, the scar is sort of an identifying feature that allowed you to sort of try to hone in. But whatever mind was on the other side of that scrying was able to very quickly sort of push you away.
What did he roll?
4.
It was a legendary resistance.
Yeah.
Do it again! Do it again!
Can't!
How many times can you do it?
How many times can we do it with the cauldron? Let's just spam scry with the cauldron.
We gonna find out.
Run out those resistances, yo.
If you're attuned to the cauldron, you can cast scrying through it once per long rest.
Fuck.
On a wait, okay, so wait, what? Oh,
The
never mind.
actual language of the item is different. I've actually made it a little bit more powerful. According to the item, it just works as a material component of scrying, so that you need to already be able to cast scrying, and it is the material component. But I've made it a little bit more powerful, in that it actually allows you to cast scrying once per day.
So I couldn't cast it though because I've already used scrying for the day against the dragon.
No, this is essentially this would allow you to cast scrying through it without spending a spell slot once per long rest. But you have to be attuned
But I
to
still
it.
can't. I can't cast it though scrying on the dragon because the dragon has already saved against me.
Oh,
scrying
yes, I see what
against
you're
it for
saying.
the day.
Yes, if you succeed on a scry, then you're immune to that for 24 hours.
From that person who cast it.
Correct.
The Cora could still do it, and Ryujin could still do it.
It's true.
You can't scry a dragon?
Well, they succeeded against the wisdom.
Oh, that hurts.
Alexios, we have the cauldron here. You and I, we could. I'm gonna put both my hands on either one of Alexios' shoulders and bring his face like an inch from mine and just say, "You can find out where he is. That son of a bitch."
Do you think he has legendary resistances?
Definitely not. Definitely not. He's just an asshole. A greedy asshole. That's all he is.
So are we gonna do it in front of everybody, or do we just like clear out the room, or
Ow.
do we?
It matters not.
I'm with it. Tonight?
Now.
Just do it right now. Can
Yeah,
you do it
alright.
right now? I can spend a little bit. Just
Yeah. I mean, since should Honora do it, or no?
but
I mean,
Oh,
I've
you want to
met-
see him with your own eyes?
I'm gonna see it with my own eyes.
Fair. All right.
If it's in the cauldron, do we all get to see the scrying? How does that work?
Yes, I'll say yes because that's cooler. That it sort of makes like a pensive situation.
So I'd like to
the fool
attune,
always wins.
Yeah.
lift up my patch, crack my knuckles. All right, Cora, that's how it's done. All right.
You've got to attune to it. It takes an hour.
You can take an hour. Okay.
Yeah, you guys can take an hour to attune to it if you like.
I want
Okay,
to
during
spend
this
that
hour, can I get Adagio to send that message?
I wanted to send my own message.
You can do both.
Gonna be
Adagio,
able
you can
to
send
kill-
your own message first. What do you want to do?
I want to get this girl to get me in contact with her mom.
Well,
Have you
you
met
is this-
her?
you've met
I
Krisa.
will meet.
I
will
didn't know
meet
when
your
we met her.
mom.
What are you gonna say in your message?
Yo, Krishka, I've been fate touched and I want to meet your mother. Oracle things. Hashtag Oracle things.
Well, all right. She's exactly where she always has been. You're welcome to pay her a visit.
That's like Isaac Gaia territory.
Well, you should be a little safe then. A little undercover.
Ugh, me, I glow in the dark.
You can turn it on
Every
and off
time
now.
you say something back, you're using a message slot. You know that, right?
I'm a powerful cleric now. Guys. Okay, I guess I'm ready to be used as a telephone booth.
I don't know where she's at, so I can't just send a messenger. I'm sorry.
You can't send a messenger pigeon?
If I don't know where she's at, I can't know.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Who you sending a
Okay,
message to?
Lysandra.
Okay.
Lysandra
Who?
Lee.
Who's that?
The Talker.
The
Who's
X?
that? Who?
What was that, Ryujin?
Who's that?
Nobody?
Is that what? 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 What's
I'm gonna
happening?
slowly, like, you know that scene where someone's looking straight forward and someone just creeps up on the side really slowly? Just gonna do that and go,
You attune to your cauldron. You attune to your cauldron over there.
oh, I will.
Oh yeah, focus.
All right. What do you want? What do you want Adagio to say to Lysandra the Talker?
Okay, let me have my hands ready to count words. This is from Honora. You're going around telling my story, but aren't even here when I get back. Come back to Delphi, please. Thank you. That's 25 exactly.
If I say it like that. Did we
Not
get to
exactly like
hear-
that.
Did we get to hear, like, no one in town, like, knows, like, what Lysandra has been, like, singing, or, like, the
You
poem,
haven't,
like, in,
you
like...
haven't asked.
I want to ask, I suppose. I'm gonna ask.
Ask who?
Ask, I don't know. Cora, I'll ask Cora. She seems
Well, send the
informed.
message first.
No, I want to know what this damn poem is about.
Because well, I've never met this person, so I don't know.
Well, she would have done the story here first, wouldn't she?
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
Send the damn message, because either
I'll
way, I
ask the
want her to
other-
come back.
I'll ask the other house members then.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Y'all
You-
heard anyone talking smack about Nora or what?
you have an hour. You have an hour. I will say there are two people in the house who did happen to hear one of her performances. It's a beautiful song. It's not necessarily factually accurate, but it's a beautiful song.
I see a red moon and I want the sun back.
Oh, now I want a private performance.
Send the damn message then.
Oh my god, fine. I'll focus on whatever I remember, Lysandra.
Okay.
I definitely remember this person.
All right.
Yo, we back in Delphi, hit us up. Hashtag Nora says hi.
Gave you this whole goddamn message and you didn't even say it.
Oh my god, it was basically the same thing.
All right.
I feel like
When
it's
have I
on
ever-
brand.
You
When have I
hear,
brand.
ever relayed a message and it been exactly
Yeah.
what you
It's
you
on
hear
brand.
a
yeah.
response from Lysandra. Well, that is wonderful news, but I can't interrupt a tour, so I'll be back eventually.
I want to know where she's at.
Well, you didn't tell me to ask that. Your message said anything but.
My god.
I can probably cast it like one more time. I think I've casted it like 4 times today.
If it's okay with you, you can will you cast and ask where she's at, or would you rather me cast locate person?
But isn't locate person just going to show you a direction if they're not within 100 feet?
I don't remember. I'm trying to find
Okay,
I'm
it.
pretty
person,
sure
it's
that's how
a
that
very
works.
limited range.
Okay, well, it's
Like
up to
1,000
you
feet or
if you
something?
want to be nice and ask.
Okay, so I'll message her and be like, I really want to see this performance. Where are you performing next?
Well, if you can make it to Marathon before tomorrow night.
Where the
Where
frick
is
is
that?
Marathon?
Marathon, it's close to Athens.
It's just right down the street, you know.
These are too many
Plus the
names.
7-Eleven.
Oh,
You don't
there
know
it
where
is.
Athens is on this map?
Ah,
Hey,
Athens is
within
too
that
far, too.
area, Sammy, is there somewhere that there's a tree that I've been near being in Athens I can go to?
No.
Can I get Ryujin to take me there?
You would know.
Athens?
You would know that Marathon is about 26 miles from Athens.
Okay, so if I go to Athens and
That's
how long will it take me to get there?
Depends on how you're going.
If I wild shape into a horse.
I can fly with you. You can take my Pegasus.
Alexios is gonna butt in and say, Nora, just for reference, I did say Teclis and Vanix was gonna come with us to the Divine Battlefield, and they'll be back in 2 days. We have
Why?
a free night tomorrow.
I know, that's where I want to go.
I'm down.
Like,
How long?
We-
What is the shortest
we all have the
duration
helm.
of like the trip over there would be? Because none of us have been over there. It's not like we can really helm.
Yeah, I mean, like
Athens?
the shortest trip would be to teleport to Athens. And
Yeah, we can
That
travel
or
to
Spear
Athens.
Point.
How
We've
far
been to
from
Spear
Athens
Point,
would
right?
be if we go by foot?
you have not been to Spear Point. Only
We
Alexios has
have
been to Spear
not.
Point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could just go to Athens. And then
We go to
discuss some stuff
Athens.
with
It's
Theseus,
not
and
that
then
far. We just
that
poop
night
over.
we could...
Okay,
We
so
watch the
from
performance.
Athens, how far is it to get to? How long would it take if we go by foot?
It was
To get to
26
Marathon?
We
miles,
can't
right?
travel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 26 miles away.
hours.
Yeah.
Sammy, I can't do that kind of math, and you know it.
It's a marathon. People do marathons
Yeah.
every day.
Sammy, I do.
No, Alexios is
wild
right.
shaping.
It is
So
the length
we-
of a marathon. That's why it's called marathon.
Well,
We
I mean, I
wake
get
up
that. I'm
bright
saying,
and
like,
early,
how
we
long would it
jog.
take us as a party so we know how long we have to talk to
We jog.
Theseus?
Or we could borrow like a horse. And
If
draw
you're going
carriage.
fast, it could
My
take
Pegasus
you
can hold it.
a day.
Nora,
to get there.
if it takes too long, right?
Okay, well, we
you
go
can
there
be
now.
almost any animal. You can be like a fast falcon. You can just fly there. We don't
I
have
can,
to
yes.
see-
I'm just trying to plan it out, okay?
Wait, did she say the performance was tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so you just gotta get there by tomorrow.
Yeah, but if we're going to go talk to Theseus, we need to know. I need to know when to leave if we're all
Okay,
going
well, we
to
can
go,
all
or if it's
do
just
it.
going to be me going.
We can all dip to Theseus and I'll go with you.
Okay, what about
Nora-
this? You take a gate stone, become your fastest creature.
That's true. I could do that.
You could fly there right after we finish talking to Theseus, and then maybe
just
send a
gate stone
message
to me.
to Adagio, or whenever you're there, we can just gate stone.
That's true.
Nora, I mean, can I offer like a perspective, for instance?
Hmm?
Maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't go see her.
Why?
Because you just announced to her that you came back from the dead, and her response was, "I have a show tomorrow."
Okay, well, the thing is, I
Ooh.
didn't announce that I came back from the dead. Adagio announced that.
First of all, don't act like you didn't just make me messenger post this bitch that Anora's
Wait,
back to
wait.
life.
I did not say that,
First
but
of
the
all,
way it was
first of
said
all.
was not at all implying
Just-
anything about me besides Honora says hi. Adagio was the one who said that he wanted to see her, not me.
Honora, just really quick, how many times did you accidentally stand up this individual again? Was it just the one time, or did it happen twice?
Was it twice? I think it was twice. It was the initial
Because-
date, and then when they said that they would come back.
Yeah,
I
and then
forgot, like,
we had
Well,
to
when
go.
I came back and like we planned out when it was gonna be though.
Yeah, I think you only stood her up.
So it was.
once.
I only stood her up the once when we had to leave, and then I came back.
And then we all
But then on that date, you
And then
found
we
out
died.
they didn't even want to date you. They just wanted to use you as a muse.
Either way, it's a fucking song, and it's about me. I still want to fucking hear it.
What if it's like a really, really
Yeah.
mean song?
Then I'll know. I just want to hear it. Okay.
When you heard about her, there's 2 points of like contact. There's you, and then there's the song. And then you told her that you're back. So it's obviously about the song.
I mean, yeah. Either way, I want to hear the fucking song. Okay.
I mean,
Sammy.
Yes.
So, sorry, I was just thinking about this. I don't mean to interrupt, but with the gate stones, you said they're how big? Like just a little stone, right?
Yeah, they're like the palm of your hand.
Oh, could Kai carry a gate stone?
Kai
So,
could totally carry a gate.
Theoretically, I could send Kai a good distance, invisible. Sorry, I'm just. Go ahead. I'm just.
You already started.
No,
I'm
it's
so.
okay.
I want to know
I was just
where
thinking.
that
I was
going.
like, if you didn't want to fly to Marathon, we could send Kai to Marathon with a gate stone when we get to Athens right away. And by the end of the day, whenever we need to go there, he'll probably be there, if not most of the way there, and we could just.
No, I'm fine with flying there. That doesn't matter.
Not poor little Kai. I just imagine
This
like
sounds
Kai
really
carried this stone that's as big as
convoluted.
him
Kai
across the
is
continent.
legit.
I feel like we all need a break anyway, and I want to hear the poem in context or the song or whatever.
Sammy, do you have this song written out, or?
I will for next week. Ryujin, it's
Yeah,
been an hour.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it's been an hour. As soon as I'm fully attuned to this, Ryujin gets really, really serious, right? Really
I also could have
focused.
messaged this dude.
A very rare sight for Ryujin.
What happened?
Damn.
Did he
The
freeze?
band.
Brand on his eyelid clear.
Whoa, wait, you cut out
Whoa.
Ryujin. Say again.
Yeah, you froze and then just.
I said.
You
he
get
lifts
really
up his
serious.
eye patch. He gets really serious. He lifts up his eye patch. You can see the brand on his eyelids clearly. And I guess I'm gonna try and scry on Rembrandt.
Okay.
Alexios is
Couldn't
like
you have
just-
tried trying
You
on
may
the
not be
other
the best
side.
person to do this because it's a wisdom saving throw, isn't it?
What
Can
is your
I-
spell save DC,
It's fine.
Ryujin?
If I rolled my
My
divination,
spell
can I
save
change Rembrandt?
DC is
Sure, Adagio.
17.
But Adagio, haven't you already used?
Today? I don't know if the timeline.
Wait, do I still have
'Cause
bless? How
you
long
guys,
does
you
that
guys
last?
haven't rested since the
Actually,
fight.
that doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, then you know, never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I use both of
My
those?
save is 17.
Probably did.
Yeah.
That's okay.
17. Okay, so that is a failure. So,
Oh.
as you cast the spell into the cauldron fills with water that you did not put in there, and as it sort of ripples, this image appears on the surface of the water. At first, you can just see Rangram, and then shortly, his immediate circumstance sort of fills in around him. You see his hands are above his head, and he is cuffed to a stone wall. You see he is bloodied, he is weak, and you just hear him going, "I'm not saying anything." And you hear someone else, "I do not care if you say anything or not. I just merely need you to do what I say. Now, this invention of yours is interesting. I think I'm going to take it. And what you can do is make a decision. You can either work for me and give me all of your profits, or you can die and you get none of the profit anyway. And then it fades.
Do we recognize the other
Well, I
person?
get like a general like.
Sammy, what the
Is there any
fuck?
Sammy? Can I roll something, anything, to try and get just a basic direction? Locate like
That's
north,
not how
south,
the
east,
spell
west.
works.
No, can I do anything?
That's not. It looks like
What are the
from the
surroundings?
little you can see. It looks like he's in a stone dungeon.
Somebody cast locate person. God damn it! I don't know what to do here.
Do we want to travel until
It's been
like
no. It's been
something
18
contact?
months since we saw that travel log. He could have gone anywhere. He
Anywhere.
could be anywhere. And our idea is about to get stolen again.
Is the accent familiar to a particular place?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Can I
Could be.
also?
Can I help with that or also make one?
Whatever it is.
I'll let two of you make history checks.
I'll make
Did
one.
we get to see like the face
What's
of the
my
other
history?
person in the cauldron?
No, the spell is really only focused on the person. You could just hear.
Yeah, my history's a -2, so I'll back
I'm
off
gonna
on
make
that.
one,
Alright.
Ryujin.
Anura and Alexios, go ahead.
I'm still trying to find
So-
blessed.
I'm gonna +5 it anyway.
Okay.
I'll give
rolled-
Alexios guidance on his just to add some extra.
It's
So take a 3 on yours.
it's fucking ridiculous anyway. Hold on.
Mine's a
Ooh.
23.
Damn.
Oh, mine's is higher. I'm just trying to get like a whole. So natural
hope yours is
19 plus the 3 is 22. Plus the 5, which would make it 27, and my natural modifier for history is a plus. H5. So it's 32.
A 32. Okay.
Shit.
So the
What's
nature
the
of
Oh, we're gonna
accents
find that
in this
fucker.
world, I mean, people travel and exist everywhere. So there's different kind of accents everywhere. That being said, you grew up in a port city. And more often than not, people who sound like that were coming and delivering goods from Crete.
Oh. Wait a second. That. I see. That's a ways away.
Yes, that is
That lady
south
started cruise
of
ship.
the Hephaestus Islands.
Hmm.
Literally off the map. That
So
kind
this
of-
person is either in Crete or they came from Crete.
Yeah.
Means they could be.
anywhere in the world.
What's the range on locate person?
Look at the spell.
It's not like miles and miles. It's
Yeah, isn't
like
it only like
couple
1,000 feet or
hundred
something?
feet.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
locate object. Like it's very close
Oh.
range.
And then
Cora.
outside of that range, it gives you just like a general-ish direction.
Yeah.
Aura.
Yes.
Is there anything that can be cast that we can do to pinpoint the location of a person that is miles away?
I mean,
Any arcane magic, literally anything.
Oh, side quest to save this dude.
I don't think so. Not
There's
that I'm
nothing.
aware of.
Well, maybe I
No
can try
resource
asking-
we have that we can use.
When I send
It
messages,
is of the utmost importance.
when I be sending, you can respond telepathically, right? Like you don't have to
No,
speak out
no,
loud.
you have to speak.
No.
Yeah, you have to speak.
Ooh. Like, sorry, Ringrim. Can't even ask you.
Well, I
if you
mean,
can
he
know what
could
you
I mean,
want.
probably
you could
figure out a way
still-
to say it.
Yeah, you could still cast it and just
Yeah,
message.
but
Like while you're saying it,
Clearly they're
say
still the same
respond
room.
covertly. Maybe like say your location in a sentence to the one interrogating you or something
Yeah,
like
just
that.
say
You know,
covertly.
that'd be like, man, this place, this specific place in Crete, I never should have come here. Fuck this.
In this dungeon, the third window from the left.
This dungeon on the third
That's
window of the
very
left.
specific
you
for,
know,
like, 25
It
words.
looks like it would be amazing, but this place fucking blows.
And tell 'em we're
Something like
coming
that,
to
you know?
save-
I don't have the spell slots for that.
Hilarious.
Son
Yeah,
of a
you've cast so many sendings already.
Cora!
Tell him tomorrow.
Get another cleric in here!
Shit.
They had to have met Ringram for that to work.
Yeah.
Anemios.
Where's
Nemios is
Nemios?
not here.
That's fine.
See, Keth is
Wait,
dead.
don't we have you can helm of teleportation
We
to
have helm.
We had
We have
to
helm.
the arc.
Guys, I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
This dude doesn't know. I
What
love
the
the
fuck
dude.
did
I
you just say
don't
to me
love the
right
dude.
now? What did you say to me right
I'll rage and beat you up if I have to.
Listen,
Dude,
I'll rage
in
until
the
I
grand
put you to the
scheme
middle
of
of
the
the
universe,
ocean and leave you
who
there.
cares?
Rage doesn't mean shit if you can't swim, okay?
Oh my god.
So, we got our
Just
leader
build the
in
boards
range
yourselves
from-
before these people can sell the idea.
already
We
just
have
got
start
the
other
right now.
things to deal with.
You guys are talking
Yeah, I was
about
gonna
killing
say.
titans, and you're like, but the surfboards.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Ryujin.
can.
Build them right
I'm gonna
now.
turn to
Just
Listen,
build them
listen,
and
no,
sell
shh,
them
listen,
now.
listen. I'm thinking long game, all right? This is our financial future, okay?
My god.
So what are you guys doing?
Ryujin
I'm still
and
rich.
just go,
I was
I'm
just
with
gonna
you
say.
if you want to teleport to Anemios. Let's go.
I honestly, like, I'll fucking do it. This means a lot to me.
Ryu,
Let's fucking do it.
What? What are we doing? What's up, Alexio?
We had our ass kicked by a dragon hours ago. Should we all just like go to sleep?
Yes.
Like
that's
call
fine.
it a night? Listen,
I'll sleep
it's-
and Ramgram is dead.
it's
But
about the journey,
Ryujin
not
has
about
enough-
the ending horrific murder.
Yeah, still have 2 charges, I think, right?
Yeah, Ryujin has 2 charges, so we can go to Anemios and come back and sleep.
How much health do we even all have? We only
I had Aura
Uh,
Vitality up, so
I'm
we should all
pretty
basically be
sure
in full.
yeah, we all fully healed, didn't we?
Yeah.
Before we left.
And how much magic did you use during your How are you gonna help this guy?
We're just going to talk to Anemios.
Yeah, so you can locate Rengram. Are you just gonna leave Rengram there until we can come back?
Yes.
Yes, he's in a dungeon. Where is he going to go?
I just
Yeah, I
need
have.
They
I
could just
need
kill him in the next 5
Nemios.
minutes anyway.
a Nemios exactly. And they might kill him in the next 5 minutes, so we should get a Nemios to cast Sending and have him somehow covertly say his
But if you're
location.
not
we
gonna
can
save
eventually
him, there's no
go
point
there.
in knowing where he is anyway.
Alexios?
We can
I'm
still
a-
go after the dude who's taken the design, though.
Alexios?
Yeah, for a second I stopped thinking like a merchant, and I apologize for everybody or to everybody for that. But Ryujin, right? We want Rangram dead or maimed. He is well on his way to being dead or maimed.
Mhm.
We have an accent and a whole bunch of sea that we can't travel to right now. So, what if we let Rangram die?
Maybe
Like that's for free, even though the
he might agree to
satisfaction
work
may be a
for
little
the other
bit.
individual, though.
Or,
The thing is, though, is either
Rangram's a
way, the
coward,
other
okay?
person.
He's not
is
gonna
Hold on,
die.
let
He's
him
gonna-
let him finish. Let him finish.
and when like okay, so we were like plagiarized, right? But
Mhm.
if we were plagiarized and then we were plagiarized again, and then we plagiarize, it's not plagiarism, it's just returning the original schematic.
Does
Right?
copyright law exist in Gaia?
No.
Now it does. Now it definitely
This
does.
is how it starts.
Yeah.
Our copyright is if you take our ideas, we'll find you and kill you. That's all the copyright we need.
Listen, we're
Uh,
serious about 3
so-
things: the Titans, our friendship, and copyright infringement.
If you copy us, you'll catch this right hand. That's where it came from.
His right hand of fate, baby.
This right hand of fate.
But you know, it's like and I like gesture towards the Nor hunting, right? It's there's bait. Eventually, it's gonna pop up, and then we kill the person with the weird accent, or extort them, or you know,
I don't know if you know where this is going.
it takes zero. Like, you know, we don't have to do anything right now. We just wait for boards of surfing to pop back up. We find who's responsible, and then we do the same thing that was done to us.
I mean, the world is kind of chaos.
We
I just
take
want
the
to,
person who's got our idea and lock them up in a dungeon and torture them and tell them to either work for us or we steal back our idea?
Or we could just kill him.
Yeah, I
Or
could just
You
take
said
to
do
the...
what was done to
Or-
us, so...
I meant plagiarism.
Okay.
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 Cor-
You know what?
Cor just
You're
goes-
making, you're making sense.
You
Well-
lot killed a dragon and saved Delphi. You.
Listen, Cora, we have good days and we have bad days.
Listen, this is one of the
can't
best
do
ideas
that
I've ever
without
had, and someone
determination.
stole it from me, okay? I'm
That
upset.
is true. Ryujin doesn't normally have good ideas.
That's fair. I can't even get mad.
Alright, so, what are you guys doing? It's been half a session. What are you doing?
Sick. Alright, so next
literally
I need
should-
to can we finalize the details for the like moored mines and depth charges with like,
Paloma's
we get
upstairs.
Paloma here. Okay, we get
Yeah.
Paloma and then somehow maybe get a copy of those schematics to the once mill. Is that possible?
I can
There's not-
animal messenger them.
How long would that
There's
take, do you
not a
think?
lot of-
It depends on the
Wait, we could helm to
The tower.
to the tower and give them to him and come back.
That's true.
Yes.
You know this complex machine is just a glyph of warding, right?
Here's the thing, though. Okay, all right. Out of character, how does glyph of warding work specifically?
So there's a couple different things you can do with a glyph of warding. In its
Mhm.
in its base form, you can just put a glyph of warding on a thing, and then if it is triggered, it combusts. Or you can alternatively do a glyph of warding, and when it's triggered, it releases a spell that you've put into it.
Okay. So that combustion is what type of damage?
I believe it's just fire.
Is there a way we could make it force?
You can make it any type of damage, I believe.
Yeah, because if you can put a spell into it, you can make it
Force
anything.
damage would be preferred because they would be underwater for the moored mines, and then the detonation charges, what we could toss into the water. Like,
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. So
notice.
So if you're just doing the explosive rune, not even the spell, if you're just doing explosive, you can decide if it takes acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder.
So- how would that work underwater?
You don't know.
regularly. I mean, I'm really worried
Cold,
about.
Definitely not. I don't think lightning or thunder would probably be a good idea. Fire is gonna get snuffed out.
I mean,
Why
if
is
your
cold
Pokemon's told me
definitely not?
anything, lightning is probably
Because
pretty good underwater.
I'm resistant to cold damage as a Poseidon demigod. A creature that's fully submersed in the icy depths of the ocean 24/7 is not going to take cold damage.
Okay,
Didn't
I didn't
Theseus
I didn't realize that stuff.
what damages
Um,
worked and which ones we avoid?
I'm sorry, Sammy. What did you say? I missed.
I missed my time.
That wasn't me. That was Isaac talking.
No, the last thing you said.
Oh, that if Pokemon has taught me anything, lightning is probably fairly good underwater.
You think it would like empower it, maybe? Somehow? If there's
Is
enough
that
of
the
them.
same?
Can we do some research on Tromokratis and find out if he's weak to lightning damage?
Ask your dad.
Wait, I know. We talked to Theseus about this when we
Right.
were there.
That's
I
what,
asked him
that's
for
what
reasons.
Isaac was saying. That's what Adachi was saying.
Yeah. What did he say again?
That cold, lightning, thunder, and fire are all probably not very good to do to Tromokratis specifically.
The other ones were acid and what else?
Acid.
Okay, so is there a
I
way
like
we
how
could
Sammy
maybe
just
like?
told us to use lightning damage and then went, yeah.
Lightning is
no.
probably good underwater. It just so happens that Tromokratis doesn't give a shit about lightning.
Okay, so is there a way we could modify that maybe with some artificial stuff to like force damage?
I mean, that would be where the experimentation comes in.
It would be
Yeah.
a different
Okay.
spell. We can also see if we can put a glyph of slowing on the mine. And
Is there a way we could stack them? Maybe put multiple? Like
Yeah.
2 per mine, different stuff?
we spread it out in the area. And
Yeah. At different depths, make maybe a few dozen. I don't know how many we would need. And then the detonation charges, I was thinking could be force or maybe something similar, because those would be tossed into the water when Tromokratis arrives.
If you can find a spell that you think will work, I'm pretty sure we can get it done. I mean,
what are the
it's all
limitations
the matter
for
of...
the spell?
So the limitations for this spell, it can be of an equal or lesser level than the spell than the level you cast Glyph of Warding at. So it's base level, which is a 3rd level spell. If you cast Glyph of Warding, you can put in a 3rd, 2nd, or 1st level spell in it. But if you say you cast a 9th level Glyph of Warding, then you can put any spell you want in it.
So if you casted a 9th level Glyph of Warding, you could put like Disintegrate.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But it takes an hour to cast the spell.
Mm-hmm.
And it consumes incense and powdered diamond worth at least 200 gold per casting. So it's cost intensive.
So, wait, did you say 200 or 2,000?
200 gold.
Okay. We're rich.
Okay.
I've got
So-
2 castings worth of diamonds that you can powder.
Okay, so here's my thought. We will show this plan to Cora and Paloma as well. See if they have any thoughts about maybe experimenting, trying to make something into force damage. And we can helm to the one smoke, do the exact same thing. While they're working on that, we can, I guess, do whatever else we need to do. We could go, well, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere else after that. We'd actually have to probably wait a day and let the
Well,
helm
that's if
recharge
we-
before we go somewhere.
If we go to the one smoke and then decide to go somewhere else directly, we would just have to go somewhere we could spend the night, I guess, and then we would just not come back here tonight.
We could potentially go to Athens if you guys wanted. We could talk to Theseus about the Colossus, do anything else we need to do there.
Yeah.
In the morning, right? Or when we wake up, right?
Yeah, I think
Or
we
we're
should go
going to
ahead and just go
Athens
to sleep
tonight.
tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Nice talk, guys.
Alright, so you guys bedding up for the night?
Yes. I'm gonna summon Kai.
Okay.
And just let him like hang out in the pool.
Sounds
with me
good.
While I sleep.
Since I'm also up on the roof with Ryujin, I want to let Nyx out, and can Nyx and Kai kind of like play around together?
Kai's in the pool.
If Kai's like, when Kai's not in the pool,
Oh,
if he gets out.
the pool's inside.
Yeah.
The pool is on the roof.
No, the
What?
pool's in. Ryujin
No, the pool's in
had
the
the pool
room.
commissioned in one of the rooms.
God.
Because if you remember,
The ceiling has all the bushes and stuff.
and the statues and
Yeah.
Am I
It's
having
alright.
a
It's
stroke?
Anna's first time in a session, guys.
Am I having a stroke?
Okay, so
Perhaps.
you guys, you relax in your home for a bit before you find sleep. And we will come back to that after our break. We will come back to the next morning with still the blood red moon and the dark sky, and nothing seems to have changed. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. See you soon. And we're back. Welcome back. So, you guys can all take a long rest. You are fully rested here in Delphi in Sunbrown Manor. The quote-unquote day is yours. What are you doing?
So should we
Let's find
show
Paloma.
Paloma the ideas and then the one smoke?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, Paloma is up in the forge room, working away.
All right. We'll make a dramatic entrance, swing the doors open.
You
Paloma.
see, as you burst the doors open, she is currently pulling something out from the forge, and it's glowing orange hot. She has goggles on. She turns, and goes, "Hey, what's up?"
I have a couple of ideas to run by you that I think you might enjoy.
She puts whatever she's holding in the tongs in the water, and you just hear it, sizzle, and she takes off her goggles. What's up?
So, I feel like at this point, Alexios and I would have made maybe a rough type of schematic. There's just some basic ideas and general shapes and stuff like that. And I want to show that to Paloma and basically just say we're trying to make sea mines that are anchored and tethered, but the mine itself is buoyant, so it sits at a specific distance and are activated by magical means if Tromokratis gets within a certain distance with explosive warding, stuff like that. Thinking damage-wise, lightning wouldn't be as efficient, but it'll do a little bit more damage than it normally would because it's going to be underwater in such a large quantity. But we think Tromokratis is resistant. There's force damage, which we think would be really good. Psychic damage, or slowing it down. How many glyphs do you think we could get on one mine?
Well, I'll be straight with you. I can help with the designs, and I can help build the actual stuff, but in terms of glyphs, I'm not that powerful. But the one smoke can certainly help, and Alexios, I'm sure you can help as well with that. But that would be more their prerogative. I can help you with the actual construction of the mines.
Okay. Would you want to help us with getting a solid design for us to take to the one smoke to
Yeah,
look
sure,
at?
of course, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just. I also had this design for depth charges that we could drop from a high altitude from above, and those would be kind of the similar damages. Maybe not lightning damage, but force probably would be the best for those.
Good. Oh, you know what would be an awesome idea? We can. I mean, with glyphs of warding, like we can give them all their own individual like proximity trigger or whatever, but we could also do it so that they could absolutely activate on that trigger, or maybe there's like a code word you could say that activates all of them at the same time for like a cool epic effect.
Well, like we dropped all of them at the same time and said
like Geronimo or something. I don't know, or like see you in hell.
Okay.
You know, just food for thought. Food for thought. We're spitballing.
No, yeah, that'd be cool. Okay. And yeah, I assume we'll just kind of be mulling this stuff over, writing down specifics, and maybe going over like getting more so a rough draft for us to take to the one smoke and finalize and get that under production, basically.
That's actually a wonderful idea now that you think about it. If we have a code word, then, I mean, the actual, thing could be anything.
Could we
be like a shell that explodes? Tromokratis is smart, right? So if we have like a whole bunch of foreign objects, it's like, oh, what's that? Let's not go near it. But then like exploding rock.
Yeah, that's actually that's a great point. What we could do, I could make you mines that just act as mines, and then in addition to those, you could have those spell glyphs on completely random things. So Baby Tromokratis sees the mines and knows to avoid the mines, but in doing so, he unwittingly goes directly into the range of your random shells that have the spell glyphs on them.
And the best part about Glyph of Warding is it doesn't disappear until you use it.
Right.
Is it possible to Glyph of Warding a single grain of sand?
It needs to be big enough to make the glyph on it.
Oh, okay. What if you shrink someone down really small? Man. Yeah, we could do shells, rocks, pieces of coral.
Anything.
There's tons of things. We could just go down. We could go into the coast and maybe shallow, medium depth water, and just get tons of natural objects. And holy shit!
Yeah.
How big does the glyph have to be? What's the size?
The smallest you can make it is maybe like this big.
Easy. Okay.
But it's expensive. For each one, you're talking 200 gold.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if you're doing this in Athens, I know a certain Athenian king who has a lot of fucking money.
yeah. Okay, yeah, that's awesome.
So
Yeah, you know,
if you want to get with the one smote and figure out all the spell glyph stuff, I can get to work on just making you some normal ass mines.
yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll basically just show the design for the mines again and just kind of go over that.
Sure.
They got to be buoyant, and the tether could be, they're going to be obvious. He's going to see him. There's no way he's not. I mean, unless we can magically hide them, but I still have a gut feeling Tromokratis is going to see him no matter what. But it's just it's pretty simple. It's just an anchor, tether, and the mine, which is buoyant and held at a specific depth. That's really
Sounds good
it.
to me.
I mean,
All right, I'll get to work. When do you need these by?
Start making them, and we'll get back to you on how many you think you're able to come up with
Great.
by a specific time.
All right, I'll get to work. She puts her goggles
awesome.
back on and just starts pulling some metal pieces.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to do here before we go to the one smoke? Actually, I need to roll for the help.
Yeah, see how many you got back. Also,
two.
you can now use this time new divination rolls, new wheel or woe, all that kind of stuff.
What else we need to do before we go?
I just before we go, or before Paloma starts working, I just want to ask her. So, like, how's things?
Busy. Things are busy.
You like working here? You don't miss
Yeah.
don't miss adventure, glory.
I mean, glory would be nice, but time being, if I'm making swords and shields and that kind of stuff, I'm fine with that as long as I'm not doing that for the rest of my life.
Okay. I just
Why? Wait,
wanted
do you have
to tell
like an opportunity for glory?
Have you looked around?
I mean, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I've just sort of realized that I'm completely surrounded by demigods and I feel a little inferior, but if you want me to do something, I'll get out there and I'll shoot some fucking goblin faces off. I don't care what I'm doing.
I mean, you have firearms. It's a pretty good stopgap. Like, trust me.
I'm just
I've
gonna,
shot a lot of shit.
Yeah,
raise
he
my
shot me
hand
like
in
8
the
times the
background.
other night. Fucking hurt.
Raise my hand in the background and be like, as far as the demigod thing goes, you pretty quickly learn that just because you're a demigod doesn't mean you can't do something to make a change.
Not a demigod, and I point to her.
So, I mean,
Thanks.
listen, I'll make these mines for you, but if you want me out on the front lines, I'll be there in a heartbeat.
I mean, listen, it's a standing order, so I mean, you do what you can do. I'm just offering or saying or asking if, like, you ever got the itch to go out in the field sometimes, because it's open. Don't want you to get rusty.
Oh, we wouldn't want that. Yeah, let me know. I'd definitely be, interested in that.
I mean, we have contact, like, and it's a little awkward, but, like, you want to, like, have some message tones or something? You can, like, contact me anytime, like, oh, it's boring.
That's pretty forward, dude. That's pretty forward. We're fine. I stay here. If we need to get in contact with you, I'm sure we'll be able to get in contact with you.
And if you have any other brilliant ideas about these mines, feel free to make prototypes, test shit out. Literally just, with it, he's resistant or immune to lightning, thunder, non-magical damage, and fire and cold. Any
All
other
right,
type of
I'm
damage?
over that.
Which would be easier if we had message stones. Just saying. Throwing that out there.
I'll work on them when I have a spare second, okay?
Alright.
Thank you. You're the greatest.
You're goddamn right. Now go.
Love you!
Alright. You guys teleporting?
Do we need to do anything else in Delphi before we go to the one spot? No? Alright. Then yes.
Alright, go ahead and roll your D100.
Wait, do I need to?
You're very familiar, but you don't have a do you have an object for the tower? I don't think so.
I assume I usually grab a piece of brick or a rock or something.
You didn't. I don't know if because
I can't remember.
I don't think
I
you
need to
did.
make a
I think
list.
you're just very familiar.
Very familiar. Oh, we're good. I rolled a 70.
Yeah. So you all feel yourselves get sucked out of Delphi and are deposited right into the sitting room of the tower of the One Smote. As you appear in this sort of nice, warm room, it's not long for your and the door swings open,
It's okay.
and there is Helm. Before he goes, oh, and he turns around.
Excuse the intrusion.
Should we follow?
Eventually, you hear the sound of the One Smote walking down the spiral staircase and joining you. Because you see, he's sort of like in a nightgown. He was probably sleeping. He's like, it's wonderful to have you here. To what do I owe the pleasure?
We need your expert craftsmanship and knowledge, and I'm going to clear up a space on a workbench, sprawl out all of these like little schematics and ideas and everything we've drawn up, everything, and say, this is what we're doing. We need you. There's a lot of work, a lot of prep.
He sort of like even like tones you out, and he just begins poring over these schematics. Goes, oh yes, okay, yes, oh okay. He just looks at you, and you can see like his eyes are like his mind is somewhere else. He just goes, how many and when?
How quickly do you think you could make a mass amount? Because we're going to be doing these depth charges, and we're going to, I believe, right, Alexis, glyph of warding on smaller other objects. So the mines are there to do damage if they are interacted with, but are also as a decoy. The main sources of damage, hopefully, are going to be other smaller, more natural-looking items, shells, pieces of coral, rocks.
Sooner you can get me coral and other things that are native to that area, better.
Okay. And so, let me just look. Okay. Can do. We could probably get you a fair amount within a couple days. I could figure out something in Athens to maybe get some carted here or teleported. We'll figure it out. But do you have any tweaks, any other additions, anything that might make the mines more efficient? We know he's going to see him, and maybe he's not dumb. He's an intelligent beast, but
if you want to avoid fire, perhaps I can change the mines to perhaps release a poison.
Okay. Maybe.
But with the spells, I can make a menagerie of options.
Okay. What do you think about force damage?
Nothing in this world besides Helm is resistant to force.
Maybe poison and force, along with psychic and slow?
I'll make you a menu of options.
Okay. We'll set up materials to be sent here. We can also figure out the coinage for the spell costs. We're going to be running to Athens soon. We'll speak to Theseus and get all that squared away, hopefully. If there's any additions, any improvements you see, feel free to make them. We also are going to be dropping mines from above, essentially, as well. Well, maybe.
Alexios, you see a look on the Once Mote's face that you've seen very often in the past, and you understand this look to be like he is miles away, and he's just like waiting for people to leave the room so he can get to work.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just put my hand up to Ryu and I say, when you give him a schematic specifically, there's only so much you can say to him after.
I understand. There's room for improvement. Do your thing. We will get you the materials and cost. Do you need anything else from us for this?
Just supplies and gold.
Okay. Just off the top of your head, how many do you think you could make in a day?
I can make more less powerful, or less more powerful.
Alexios, what do you think? Have more of the basic mines as distractions / decoys.
Because essentially with the spell glyphs, what's happening is he can make enough spell glyphs depending on how many spell slots he has. So obviously, if he's only putting in 3rd level spells, for instance, he can make more of those per day than if he were to do a 7th level spell.
No, my question is this. If you're making like a glyph with another like spell on it, do you have to know said spell?
Yes. Has to be a spell from your spell list.
So it can't be, we can't do the slow mines yet, we have to find someone who knows slow. And glyph of word.
Yeah.
We can make the smaller, or have him make the smaller ones now, or we could just throw some ones with more damage now. That way, I mean, as time goes on, at least we'll have something big. That way, if we have to do this snap-wise, we have big mines. I mean, that seems like the smarter idea to me.
Okay, let's do it.
Less, but bigger? Yeah.
Less but bigger, and for the natural-looking ones, should those be small damage or big damage? What do you think? Because if he sees the other mines, knows, okay, those are dangerous, stay away from those, and goes into these ones instead? Big damage?
Wouldn't it be a mind fuck if they were a mixture of both?
Yeah, man.
You have to dodge normal shit, and then you have to dodge the mines, but you don't know if you should dodge the mines or the normal shit because they hurt kind of more or less the same.
You know what else I could do? I could use one of the spells to create more allies. The more he activates, the more things he's fighting.
That sounds hell.
Specifically, he's
How'd that
talking
even
about
work?
he can use a 4th level summon construct. So when it gets activated, it essentially creates a golem.
Holy shit, you could make like coral golems.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we'll let you get to it.
Yeah, he's got 1,000 ideas.
Yeah, I mean, you're the pro. You're the a genius. I believe in you 100%. We will get the cost and the materials figured out. Alexios, anybody? Is there anything else we need to say? Do any thoughts?
Uh,
So one smoke looked way hotter in his like
Can
nightgown, or what?
It's not the most flattering look, no.
does he have the little tassel cap?
Oh yeah, he's going full Ebenezer right now.
Just, I mean, can you guys give me a second?
Yeah, we can stand up.
All right, you guys leave the room, so it's just Alexios, Helm, and his master.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sure, like, you probably heard and you probably mourned me, and I didn't, like, say bye or anything, and that was rude considering that I chose to die instead of, like, it just naturally happening.
Alexios, I trained 2 sons of Hephaestus. When I lost word of you, I knew you were doing something important.
But you heard I died, so I just would assume you heard, like, you would be like, oh, he died, and not like, he's doing something.
You died when Hephaestus died. The Alexios I know would not let that slide.
I mean, it sounds cool when you say that. Okay, maybe I've been internalizing this a lot more than I thought. Like, you think I should say sorry to Mom, though?
Oh,
Like,
yes.
Okay. So, thanks for being cool about that.
Alexios, let me work.
Yeah, was just gonna say that.
All right, what are you all doing?
Time to go to Athens.
Yes.
All right, teleporting away.
Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll.
Damn it.
What'd you roll?
Wait. I haven't rolled yet. I'm just thinking.
Oh,
Wait a second. I have the trident. That's from Athens.
that's an associated object. Yeah,
There you go.
I'd say that's
Do I need to
definitely
roll?
an associated object. Yeah, you're good. You're good. So
Yeah.
you hold on to the trident, and you can feel the power within it as you activate the helm, and you appear once more in King Theseus's private bedchambers.
This time, can we just be backs towards that so we're looking at the door area and just speak?
Yes, and
Backs.
you see actually, no one's in the bed, but you see by the fireplace in the corner there's a couch, and the beautiful elven queen Thraina is sitting there reading a book, and near her on another part of the room, sitting at a writing desk, furiously writing on a scroll, is King Theseus. And you see as you
I'm
appear,
sorry.
yeah.
I was just gonna.
He raises his head, and you see he has some spectacles on. He lowers them. He looks at all of you before he zones in on you, Ryujin.
I'm sorry. We have to stop meeting like this. I need a better place to teleport, but I just used the trident, and it's from this bedroom, so it took us here.
Do you have it?
The trident?
No. What you sought.
Oh, yes.
He actually sits back in his chair. Ryujin. I always thought it was me, but it was you. You. Who was destined to finish this fight. Tell me, what is next?
We just talked to Paloma and then once Moat about the mines and the detonation charges and traps. We have a basic plan for that. I wanted to talk to you about the Colossus, get information on that, details. We need to send materials, and I'm sorry, I'm asking a lot of you.
Actually,
Coin.
before we get to any of that,
Okay.
we need to run your idea past a few people. I am not the chief decision maker in this city. I do not make decisions alone. And something this dangerous, we will need the entire coalition's approval. He turns to the queen and goes, "My love, will you assemble the coalition? I would like to meet in 1 hour." She sort of stands and nods to you all and exits. He goes, "All right, so, what you must know. All you'll need is a majority vote. There are 12 of us. If it's half and half, it doesn't pass. If it's all no's, it doesn't pass. All you need is a majority. You need 7 votes. So you'll need to convince them. I'll introduce you to all of them. I'll try to sort of give you a bit of an idea of where they're coming from and where they would stand, but it'll be up to you if this works or doesn't." Yes.
Just thinking. So,
Yes?
if this does pass,
I was gonna go.
for the once Moat, we would need natural undersea objects, pieces of coral, shells, rocks,
Easy.
just objects, all that, and there's going to be a fairly large quantity of these mines and charges, and each one is 200 gold.
Alright, well,
We can help.
that might make our coin master a bit uneasy, but if we convince her, then that's 1 vote. I will also say that if we get approval, I will ask the general. I'm not sure how many of our navy ships we can spare.
I wasn't, honestly, I was going to leave that up to you. I wasn't going to specifically ask for help from ships. I mean, if you guys have like long range cannons from shore, something like that, that's safer, where you're not going to risk your fleet, that would be way more understandable. I'm leaving that entirely up to you, to the council, or
The coalition.
coalition. We have beginnings of a plan. We have the horn. We have people working on the traps, which brings me to the Colossus. What, aside from a giant fighting automaton,
Construct.
essentially,
Yes.
what can it do? Does it have any special abilities?
Yes, it has. Well, I've never seen it in action. I've only heard stories. It's never been activated since I've been king. But I have heard of some sort of fire-based attack as well as its sword. But everything it does, it has a fairly large range, but it still has a limit to its range. It can only reach as far as it can reach.
Is there a way we could get that fire replaced with poison?
You have to understand, Athena made the Colossus. It was not man-made.
Is there a way we can add something to it to make it more powerful? I'm just spitballing here. I'm not saying this is part of the plan, just if this is possible, it's something to consider.
While we have a bit of time as we assemble the coalition, let me show you what is already set up. He lays out a map, essentially, like a schematic of the docks and what is nearby to the docks. What you see and what he points out is that beyond the Colossus, which marks the end of the peninsula, essentially, there are 4 small man-made islands that sort of create a protective, almost first layer before you get there. On each of those small islands, which is only about 20 feet wide or so, there is a mounted permanent great ballista that can be manned at any point, that extends the defense range of Athens X amount. That, in addition to any ships that come out of that dock, those are sort of the natural defenses that are almost always in effect. There are also always 2 mages that are stationed, one at each foot of the Colossus. Those mages are both to protect the city and to alert the city if more forces need to be brought if there is an attack.
Do you know how long the spell slow has the effect for?
Slow. Let's find out. Slow is concentration up to a minute.
We could Glyph of Warding and slow those ballista and shoot Tromokratis with them.
Like with the arrow, with the bolt.
Yeah. That way, let's say shit hits the fan for him, he's getting really hurt. It'd be a lot more difficult for him to just run away and hide and heal.
It's true.
Because I don't want to put the city at risk any more than this is potentially already going to. I was thinking maybe we can have our ships closer to the shore, to basically have most of the damage going towards the sea, so that is the safer option, but that also leaves an opening for Tromokratis to, if he's getting too beat up or hurt, to swim away.
Well, we certainly have much to discuss. You see the door opens again, and Queen Triana goes, "Friends, the coalition awaits. Come."
I did the math. I need to leave like 2 and a little more than a quarter-ish hours to fly to Marathon in time before. I did the actual math.
Great. So, Theseus and the Queen escort you through the castle down.
Do we look okay? Do we need...
Yeah, if you want to take some time to freshen yourselves up. Alexios?
Ryujin, just a little sidebar, because, listen, you can talk anybody into doing almost anything. It's a skill. But I don't know if you sold anything before. You're being a little modest. You have someone working on these devices? No. You have the greatest minds of the century working on these devices.
You're right.
You're gonna convince them to kill people.
All right, give me all this information now so I can say it when we're out there, okay?
Yeah, so whenever you're talking about the people working on it, be like, those cannons that are on your ships, the same guy who made those is already working on the mines.
Okay. I'm just jotting stuff down mentally, just all right.
We could have what could be the greatest ship known to man under our control. We have enough gold to at least start to fund some of this. We are offering our own resources to begin with.
Alright, so you are led through the palace until you eventually arrive at a beautiful double doors that are guarded by 2 Athenian guard with blue cloaks that denote their rank specifically as royal guard. They bow to the king and queen as they open the doors, and you find yourselves walking into a fairly unimpressive room. The room itself looks just like a fairly normal meeting room. In the center of the room is a long rectangular white marble table. It has lots of grapes and olives and breads and other sort of food on it. And you see there are people in various fancy robes that are enjoying it now. There are 12 chairs around this rectangular table. And in front of each chair carved into the actual table in front of each chair, as if it were a plate that were in front of them, is a circular sigil, each with a slightly different symbol in it. But as the king and queen enter, these other 10 figures find their seats and sit. As Theseus goes all the way to the far end of the table, and you see he sits at a chair that is just like the other ones, but the sigil in front of that chair, the symbol inside, is a bejeweled crown. Queen Thraina stands at the chair at the close end of this rectangular table. You see the sigil on this one has a more simple tiara design. She goes, "I call this meeting of the Athens coalition to order. King Theseus, you have the floor." Theseus stands. "Thank you, my love. I appreciate you all coming on such short notice. This is a dark time, quite literally. I need not tell you this. But I have brought here friends, guests, with a perhaps unorthodox but promising plan to potentially bring a bit more light into this darkness. I would like to introduce you all to the Hands of Fate." There are some murmurings among them. He goes, "Anura Dragonsbane of Sullivan, Alexios, son of Hephaestus, Adagio, son of Apollo, Ilme, daughter of Hermes, and Ryujin, son of Poseidon. Together, they defeated a black dragon and saved Delphi on the Day of Endless Light. Together, they descended down to the underworld and helped free Hades before returning once more. They are heroes already, and yet there are more heroics above them. Friends, if you would make your pitch." And he sits.
Really quickly, while we're walking up, would these people know about the update with Hephaestus? And
No.
I'm gonna ask before we get up there between just us. I'm like, should we tell him? I don't think we can hear you.
Sorry. If everything goes well, we can tell them at the end, but if they seem resistant, it's also a good bargaining chip.
You see,
So
but
save it to the
before you start speaking, the queen goes, "Darling, perhaps the Hands of Fate should know who they are speaking to." He goes, right, of course. My apologies. You have met my queen, Thraina the Fair, Queen of Athens. She is both in charge of this coalition as well as the castle and keeping me in check. You see Adagio, you see a familiar face. He goes, "I believe you have also met my divination expert, the otherworldly influence." You see the yellow-skinned, otherworldly figure who just sort of looks at Adagio and bows their head. You see the sigil in front of the otherworldly influence is a crystal ball with swirls of energy. Next, there is a human man, fairly plump, balding, with a fairly simple toga on. "This is Speaker Damon Clearmind. He is the chief senator of the Athenian Senate and represents the entire Senate here on the council." You then see next to him, that sigil's like quill and ink. You see next to him is a Triton, blue skin, green hair that goes to about shoulder length, wearing armor that denotes him as a cleric of Athena. He goes, "My spiritual consultant, I believe you are quite familiar with my old spiritual consultant, Mr. Anemios, but this is his replacement, Archpriest Agot of the Deepwater." his sigil is a city resting on clouds, clearly meant to be Olympus. Next to him, you see a human woman, brown skin, braids that go just past her shoulders. This is Coin Master Sophia of Olive Tree. She is in charge of the economy of both Athens and the Outward Alliance, in charge of collecting taxes and providing investment opportunities. Her sigil is a pile of gold drachmae. Next to her is a light blue-skinned genasi with white hair that seems to almost flow in a non-existent breeze. This is Mistress Shiftgale of Smooth Tongue. She is our cultural consultant and preserver. It is her job to man everything that is part of Athenian culture and the culture of those that we call our own. You see her sigil is a stack of rolled scrolls. Next you see someone in Athenian navy garb with a ear-to-ear blue mohawk that denotes her rank. This is General Nikaea the Bold, our Master of Defense and Grand General of the Athenian Navy. She is the most highest rank of all of our armed forces. Her sigil is a sword and shield. Next to her, you see a gold dragonborn in beautiful robes with a stunning gold cloak. This is Archmage Skerin the Gold Cloak, Master of Arcanum and Headmaster of the Femian University of Enlightenment here in the city. He is our local expert on all things arcane and our educator of the next generation. His sigil is like an arcane circle, almost like a summoning circle, but very clearly for decoration than actual use. Next you see a gnomish woman with long brown hair. This is Mistress Lily Threefoot. She is our consultant for the advancement of the Alliance in the modern era. She's in charge of ensuring that our Alliance survives to the next era. You see her sigil is a grand city with an olive tree at its center. Second to last, you see a half-elven man in fine robes with some light leather armor. He goes, this is Ambassador Harioxes Evenkeel. He is our representative for the desires and grievances of the outer cities and underrepresented people of the Alliance. He is in charge of everyone who's not in this city to make sure their voices are still heard. His sigil is a pair of shaking hands. And finally, you see a human man wearing, unlike the rest of the people in the coalition, his robes are fairly dirty, street-worn. His sigil is looks like silhouettes of humans standing in a crowd. He goes, and finally, we have our representative for the common man of Athens, our philosopher, Socrates. Sort of nods his head. So, now that you know them, the floor is yours.
And as a player, so don't tell them about Hephaestus and Apollo. Wait a little bit and try to use it as a something later if they're still really skeptical.
Big pieces of information are bargaining chips. They make it sweeter. They make us look better. Pitch the idea. If they seem resistant, you mount it up. You say, "Hey, we could fund some of this. We brought the sun back. You know,
Fire's warm again. Haven't you noticed?" Okay.
We're selling ourselves.
All right, I see. All right, okay. So,
We'll
reasons to take. Is there like a stand, like anything?
Not
I just walk
really.
forward a little bit?
This feels like you are almost intruding onto a normally private meeting. There is just the table, and there's room on any side of the table to stand, but there's not like a presentationary spot.
Okay. I will stand. I'll take a few steps forward, stand next to the table, and say, "Hello, I'm Regin, by the hands of fate, as Theseus has said. We come before you with a plan. As you all know, there is a war raging across all of Gaia right now. on many levels. Levels of man, on land, in the sea, in the skies, the gods, the titans, everything. And we come before you with a plan to try to even the odds a little bit in that war in the favor of man and the gods. We are devising a plan to kill the scourge Tromokratis and have some of the greatest minds of our time helping work on this plan, making traps. And if you're familiar with Paloma and the One Smoke, the individuals that helped with all of your cannons and ships, they're alongside us, helping making the objects and things we need for this. This plan would be, man, I'm not even sure what to say, honestly. Okay,
it's a pretty impressive room.
Yes. This plan that we are coming up with and building and have most of the way done right now involves bringing Tromokratis close to Athenian shores, utilizing Colossus, the Great Ballista before the Colossus, and two of the finest ships that have ever set sail on the sea, the Ark of Fate and the Tromokratis, the ship, obviously. We are more than willing to help with cost and planning and everything. All we ask is an aid of coin and or materials. Me as a person, I'm trying to think of what else to say.
All right, that could be your opening statement. That's okay. That's okay.
Okay. And using the Colossus.
Theseus stands. I would like everyone to make their opinions heard, and we can do an initial vote. And if need be, more discussions can be had. I will start.
Yes.
My father, my god, has wanted this creature dead for eons. My weapon, that Ryujin now holds, has wanted this creature dead. I want this creature dead. This plan is not without risk. But if we're smart, and if we work together, I believe that not only can this be done, but it must be. In the name of Poseidon. He takes, you see, next to each of these sigils, there is a small, flat stone that looks like it's completely blending into the marble table. It's a marble stone. But he takes it in his hand and he flips it over, and you see the other side has been painted completely blue. And he puts the blue side up in the middle of his sigil. I vote yes. Whatever it means.
Before anyone else votes, I'd like to say, ask me questions. If you have any concerns, anything that is on your mind, obviously you're going to have a lot of questions. This is a big thing. Ask. I am here with information to give all of you. So, please.
Raina stands. It has been a year and a half since the sun has shone on this city. I am lucky enough to remember when the gods brought me and my husband together. Poseidon himself brought us together. The gods are mourning. They have been mourning. The red moon tells us they still mourn. They have been shaken far greater than they ever have. They have suffered greatly. Both mortals and gods need a reason to still hope. I know that this coalition has already decided to follow in the ways of the Society of the 100 Hands. We have held on to hope. But we are not the nation. We are not the gods. We need a sign that we are more than just empty words and promises. I do not know if the sun and flame will be coming back. But what I do know is that if we can take Tromokratis and slay him once and for all, then perhaps we could even inspire the gods. She flips her stone over to vote yes. At this point, the senator stands, Speaker Damon Clearmind. Now, alright. This plan of yours, that seems a bit absurd to me, if I'm being honest, Your Grace. He turns to you, Ryujin. Poseidon has been fighting this creature his entire life. They've been fighting in the oceans. They've been creating storms. We all know it. We've all heard the stories. If Poseidon himself cannot defeat this thing, what on earth makes you think that we will be able to?
That's a fair concern. And I hear where you're coming from. However, we are not gods. We alone do not hold the power of a god such as Poseidon. But with this plan and all of its necessary requirements, we would have Colossus, the cannons, ballista, magical ammunition. We would have 5 or more of the most powerful demigods in the last several centuries. We would have lots of help from our crew and maybe other wizards and individuals. This is not a small scale ragtag, let's try to hurt him a little bit. This is a full scale, essentially trap and plan to vanquish one of the most powerful creatures that has ever been on this earth. We're not taking this lightly, and if you think we're skipping any step in this plan, you are mistaken.
I'm sorry, son. I can tell that you believe. But if you are to fail, Athens will fall.
You want more specifics of the plan? So we can show you? Would that help ease your mind?
Unless you could give me some sort of reassurance that you will not fail, there is nothing you can tell me that would convince me that this risk is worth taking.
At the end of the day, we're in a war with ancient beings because we all believe in the gods and everything they've done. And Triana has said it better than anyone could have said. We can inspire hope in the gods And I can tell you, I've talked to the gods since Apollo and Hephaestus died. They could use a little hope, and if we have any hope of winning this war against the Titans and against all these other beings, we have to give the gods hope somehow.
Listen, I do not mean any disrespect, but I am not fighting a cosmic battle against Titans and gods. I am fighting wars against Xander and Athens, and Xander and Sparta. I do not care about the fights of the gods. I care about the people of my city that I represent. And if you fail, all of my people are in danger. And I cannot sit idly by and vote for that. And he turns his card and votes no.
You realize Tromokratis has been eating larger and larger islands. If we don't do this, if this doesn't happen, he's attacked Athens before, yes, and been warded off by the Colossus, yes. But Tromokratis is more powerful now than he's ever been. Who's to say he doesn't defeat the Colossus? And our plan isn't there to help protect you. Our ships are not there for the extra cannon fire. Our plan is not in place. Who's to say Athens doesn't fall? You need this plan to work just as much as we do.
The other world, the influence stands. War is coming. A cosmic game of dragon chess. Whether or not this battle is victorious, whether or not this piece is removed from the board, war comes anyway. He sits and votes yes.
Alexios, do you have anything you would like to add? Or
I think we need to hear them out, I think, at this point.
It just looked like Alexios wanted to say something, so I figured I'd give you the opportunity.
Yeah, that was before.
Oh, okay.
The Triton Archpriest stands, and he actually turns to Theseus. My liege, Poseidon has been fighting this battle for centuries. Tell me, if we set a trap here in the city and fight to take Tromokratis out for good, will your father join us in the fight? Theseus looks. I do not know. Olympus is... I do not think that we can guarantee either way.
I would say it's not impossible, though. Two sons of the sea god asking for help.
Not impossible. That is promising. But I think this fight, this monster you are hoping to defeat, this is a fight for Poseidon. And if Poseidon decides to join us, then I'll support it all the way. But if Olympus does not join this fight, then who are we to pretend that we could win? So unfortunately, until that guarantee is given, I cannot support it. He votes no.
But you're saying if Poseidon agrees to fight with us,
then I will happily change my vote. The coin master stands. Well, I'm not an idealist, I'm a pragmatist. And my job is to look after the money. And what this sounds like to me is extremely expensive. Even if we succeed, Tromokratis, all he needs to do is make one attack against the city to cause hundreds of thousands of gold worth of damage. And now, you've been saying that your powerful friends are creating protections and that sort of thing. All that costs money too. Now, I know you said that you're willing to help. But unless you're willing to pay for all of that, plus any of the damages that the city takes, we are already extremely thin. Our forces are divided. It is everything in our power to protect the people in our alliance in these trying times.
And let me ask you this. Are your trade routes by sea hindered by the looming threat of a roaming kraken? Are your sailors not frightened to make trips? Are your captains not skeptical to put their ship on the line in a potentially disastrous failed trade? How much more income would you have with that threat out of the way?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh shit.
Can I go, you got this, and give him
I
guidance?
got a natural 20!
Never mind.
Holy shit.
She looks at you. I'm a pragmatist. But I'm also a businesswoman. So, tell you what. If you pay for all the preparations, that's blatantly not her voice. If you pay for all the preparations, and I mean every cent, we'll pay for the damages. And if you can agree to that, then I'll support it.
I'll turn to Ryujin real quick. I've got about 3,000 and something gold plus some other diamonds already. I'll go all in on it if I need to.
I've got about 1,060. I'll go all in.
I'll turn to the rest of the party.
I mean, we gotta fund
Not
the
to
war
mention-
somehow.
Not to mention our community bag. I mean, it's a good chunk. It's a good chunk.
Yeah. I mean, I have a little over 1,000, and I don't remember how much is in it.
If we're all okay with it.
I think we can afford it by ourselves.
I got like 16,000 gold, but y'all wowing. Y'all blowing the whole bag on this?
You got
We'll see.
16,000 gold. No, you can't say anything.
No, we'll see how much it racks up to.
Yeah.
But
We should be able to pay for it all.
Yeah, we can
That's-
more than pay for it.
I have an expensive
That should be
lifestyle. We have ships and
You have
upgrades to
16,000
pay
gold and you
for.
had it for most of the time.
That's
have
why
an
I have
understanding.
16,000 gold.
yes.
She reaches out a hand to shake.
Wait, what if there are no damages to the city?
That's the gamble you're making.
Alexios, don't question it right now.
I'll shake.
You shake. She nods. And she votes yes.
What are we at right now?
Imagine
Right
if she had
now,
voted
you're
no.
at 1, 2, 3. You're at 5 yeses, 2 nos. You need 7 yeses to pass.
Oh, 2 more?
Yeah, you need two more yeses. Next, the oh wait, hold on. Did I count that right?
Does Theseus come out?
Wait, 1, 2.
Theseus-
Oh, sorry, you only have 4. You have
One.
4. You have 4 yeses.
One.
Theseus, Triena, the Otherworldly Influence, and the Coin Master all voted yes.
Okay.
And you have 2 nos, the Senator, and the Archpriest.
But we also have the one that is, if we can get Poseidon to say yes, he'll come in on
That's
it.
true. Yeah, that's the Archpriest.
Yeah, but
It's
how
a no.
many
It's a no with an
guarantees?
asterisk. Yeah. The cultural consultant stands, the Air Genasi woman, Mistress Shiftgale of Smooth Tongue.
Yeah, but this was a bunch.
Well, I will admit that I am conflicted. there is great risk involved in this. For all of us, for this city, for our alliance. But if Tromokratis is allowed to continue his current rampage, it will not just be Athens that he consumes. Eventually the entire world will be consumed. And with it, all the stories that prove that we were ever here. And what are we if not for the stories we leave behind? If you are confident, as you seem to be, that you are actually up for this challenge, then who am I to stand in your way? She votes yes.
Holy shit.
The Athenian general stands. If this
I imagine you
happens,
would want- Fuck.
if this
I would
happens, the Navy will be involved. My people will be involved. Even if we don't volunteer ships, my people will still be manning those crossbows, those ballistas. My people will die because of this. Now that's the risk of being a soldier. But I don't want them to die for nothing. Especially now, our forces are spread thin. My men are the only things keeping our alliance in check. With dragons and Xandarian cultists trying to destroy our borders. We do not have men to spare. And if we do this, and too many of our men die, then all our enemies will know that Athens is no longer protected. I cannot let that happen. He votes no.
Your men will
She
die
votes no.
anyway if Tromokratis is allowed to ravage the seas.
If you can't spare
Tromokratis
the men-
attempted to attack Athens once and was turned away, defeated, tail between its legs.
And how long ago was that?
Centuries.
Centuries.
What if we supply
This
them?
was
Centuries
before-
for this kraken to eat, consume, grow stronger. Why do you think it's going after smaller islands that are turning larger and larger?
There's
do
a
you
link
think
of
he's preparing
Oceanus
for?
out there.
And yes, once we have Tromokratis off the board, we can effectively get the link of Oceanus.
Your men will be spread even thinner if he's allowed to grow any stronger. With the link of Oceanus on the board as well. It won't
I will-
matter how many men you're able to bring back to Athens. Nothing will be able to stop him once they both reach much more power.
I do not deny that killing Tromokratis is an admirable thing to do. But I cannot support it happening here in Athens. I'm sorry,
Okay.
he says. The Gold Dragonborn Archmage stands.
How many more votes is there, by the way?
There's the Archmage, there is the Advancement Consultant, there's the Ambassador, and there's Socrates. So there's 4 more
We
votes.
need 2 of those.
You need 2 yeses left to
Out of
succeed.
the 4?
You need
Four left.
two of these next 4 to be yeses.
Yeah, I think the rest of them have to be
Should I
no for-
break out the big guns?
I think
Explode
this is
me.
preliminary vote. This is a preliminary.
This
Yeah,
is
vote.
preliminary.
this is
This is
just
not
a
final.
sour.
It's not final.
Okay.
So let's just wait and see.
The Archmage stands. I know we are scared. We have been for a year and a half. But we are Athens. We are the greatest single alliance of mortals Gaia has ever known. Us, the hands of fate, the 100 hands. We are teeming with powerful allies. Tell me, will you be bringing other allies to aid in this fight?
Yes.
Of course.
Who?
Potentially other demigods. Individuals from Delphi, perhaps. The crew of our ships to man our cannons. Whoever else we are able to rally to our cause before the time.
Any of the 100 hands, we'd be able to get anyone from them.
The ship, the Tromokratis.
The Tromokratis,
Plus the
the Ark of
Tromokratis.
Fates, which both have legendarily mighty crews.
And I believe it's important to say that allies aren't just who's on the field. We do have the one Smote's mind.
He turns to the rest of the table. If any group were to be able to succeed in this, it's us. You will have my Arcanists to protect and deal damage in this fight. He votes yes.
It is greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
The gnomish advancement consultant stands, and she actually stands on her chair. Mistress Lily 3 foot. You see why she's called 3 foot. She's 3 feet tall.
I love her.
And she goes, well, there are lots of good points on lots of different sides of this. But I think a point that cannot be denied is from the general. If we succeed, one incredibly powerful foe gets taken off the board. That's great. But if we fail, not only could Athens be destroyed, but even if it's not, it would send a message to all our other enemies that Athens is weak and ripe for the taking. If we fail, Tromokratis would not be the end of our fights, it would be the beginning. Sparta would see we're weak, Xander would see we're weak, the Eyes of Gaia would see we're weak, the cult of Tiamat would see we're weak. I hope, I wish that I was naive enough to think that we could win this fight. But my priority,
sway you.
my goal, is to protect the future of our alliance.
The future of your alliance won't exist if Tromokratis is allowed to roam free.
Tromokratis has not attacked us in centuries. And sure, he might attack us in the future. But he might attack Sparta, he might attack Xander. There's no reason to believe he's going to attack Athens tomorrow.
You're forgetting
And so
There is
what, Alexios?
You're forgetting who your king is. Your
He's
king
gonna
is the
come
son
for
of
Athens.
yes. It's gonna happen. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but Tromokratis is eventually gonna attack Athens unchecked. And if that does happen and you don't have a plan and it's random, you're gonna die surely.
Ryujin is gonna step a couple feet more forward, like, and just kind of like plant both hands on the table and lean forward a little bit and say, like, sternly, like making eye contact with every single one of these people, right? I feel like we keep coming back to the same problem of we're spread thin, and if we falter, if we fail, everyone will see that we're weak, and who's to say Tromokratis won't hit somewhere else? Why would he come back here? We have no reason to believe. None of these matter. Coming from someone who has literally had this titanic beast in their mind multiple times, I can tell you Tromokratis is old and holds a grudge. You should have every reason to believe that he would hit Athens soon. He's growing in strength. How long does it take for a dog after a beating to come back and try to bite you again? You know? And you embarrassed Tromokratis, beat Tromokratis once. Tromokratis holds grudges. You would be stupid to believe otherwise. Your king is a son of Poseidon, a mortal enemy of Tromokratis. The Colossus embarrassed it, made it run away with its tail between its legs once, centuries ago, when it was weaker. And if we don't take him off the table now, and he gets his hands on the link, there's no hope. It won't just be Athens. It'll be every major coastal city, and then probably the rest of Gaia.
Sorry.
You're fools if you think that this is something you can wait out, something insignificant. This is the best shot any of us have of taking Tromokratis off the board once and for all, aiding the gods in their war and us in ours.
I'm gonna step up to like behind Ryujin's right shoulder, so not quite like at the table with my hands on it, but still behind him to support him. I've seen what a link can do by itself. And we know the links are out there. We've come in contact with the links constantly. The Once Mode is still in contact with the link as it is. If Tromokratis and Oceanus come together, and I say if, it's not if, it's going to be when, if we don't take Tromokratis off the board soon, there's no hope for any of Gaia, much less one alliance on the whole of Gaia. You're for advancement. If you're for the advancement of your city, you'll do what you need to do now to make sure your city is still standing to be protected and advanced. Because it won't be if you let him reign free anymore.
Ryujin, go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage because of Anora's help.
Can I cast guidance?
No, you're already helping.
Can I still add to it though?
I guess, yeah.
Cosmic? Yeah,
What was
I'm
it?
gonna add to it.
Persuasion?
Persuasion.
That was cocked. Add a 5 to it.
Holy shit. Okay. 27.
27.
Sorry,
Here-
26. 26.
Well, that makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
I hear what you're saying. And you're right. Tromokratis needs to be destroyed. And I'll support you. I just can't support you doing it here. And she votes no.
How do you want to support us? What the fuck?
Alright, I'm gonna quick. Yo, when do I fucking say this other stuff? Alright?
How many
listen.
people have we got left?
You have the ambassador and Socrates left.
Do we still have
You
a
need-
chance to
you
get? We
need-
only
it's a
need one more
50-50.
vote.
You need
Until
one
after
yes. You need one yes.
Okay. So this is
So
just
let's
preliminary,
wait.
not
This is
final
preliminary.
votes. We should save the big guns for the
Yeah.
final votes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ambassador stands, the half-elven man. Well, this is quite an interesting philosophical debate, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Socrates, but for my moment, might I just say, you are right, all of you, about this creature, this evil, that is taking islands off the map entirely. Eventually it will come for us. I believe you are right that Tromokratis holds a grudge against us, against this city. I'm afraid I also agree with the 3-foot that having a battle here, even if you are to succeed, The damage that Tromokratis could deal to the city, even in success, is immeasurable. Athens is the heart of the entire alliance, and it is the outer alliance that I represent. The influence of Athens is the only thing keeping the rest of the alliance in relative safety. If Athens falls, but even if Athens does not, even if just our king falls, one man, the alliance falls. So I support your mission, but I cannot support this fight.
Imagine the strength your enemies will see after witnessing the death of one of the oldest creatures, one of the most powerful creatures that has ever existed on your shores by your hands. Worst case, let's say Athens is slightly weakened. Who would dare? No one.
Socrates stands. He looks at everyone. Why did the gods give man consciousness? Because the gods wanted someone to worship them. Why do the gods desire worship? Because worship gives them power. It is their fuel. And if worship gives them power, that means that man gives them power. And if man contains power, then why are the gods not fearful of us? If we have the ability to fuel gods, surely we have the ability to stop fueling gods. That should be a threat to them, and yet they are not fearful of us. They are here. It must be because the gods created us in their own image and therefore gave us flaws. And the greatest flaw of all is that we are driven by selfish desires, by personal agendas. And so we are unable to work as a collective. And that prevents us from ever becoming a true threat to the gods. But if the gods rely on our flaws to keep us in check, what can be accomplished if we fight against those flaws? If we put aside personal agendas? If we put aside selfish intent? If we but for a moment focused all of our energy on one task, focused with the same intensity of worship at a temple, what can man accomplish then? He votes yes.
Holy shit.
I knew where that was going when you started it, but I was still scared.
Theseus looks around. Well, I appreciate all of the opinions that have been shared here today. We have received 7 yes votes, which means that this order has been passed.
I'll lean over to Ryujin and Alexius and everybody else. Do we at least, let them know and give them some good news, considering this was a very heavy discussion?
Yeah. So, Listen, we're saving a couple things that you should all know. Nothing bad, of course.
It's
We
really
saved the
good
best.
news, actually.
You know what they say. Like to save the best for last. Firstly, I am going to put my hands like this and spotlight Adagio. For Adagio to share their portion of the news, considering they are son of Apollo.
Isn't he glowing?
You can turn the
You can
glow
turn
on
that
and
off
off.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, then
Start glowing.
I guess I'll step forward and I don't know how brightly lit this room is, but I guess I can glow. I guess I could thaumaturgy attempt to like dim the other lights and like glow in holiness. I know at least the arcanist could probably tell that it's not like magic. And then I'll reintroduce myself. Adagio, child of Apollo. We had many reasons to go down to the underworld, but one of them was in hopes of saving our fathers who had fallen, Hephaestus and Apollo. And we succeeded, of course, in helping Hades and turning over part of the war, at least gaining some powerful allies. But outside of that, we also managed to do more. In succeeding in our missions, and I'll look at Alexios and I'll be like, we also managed to revive two of the gods. Hephaestus and Apollo aren't as powerful or in their original form as they were.
You just took away his.
What?
Hey,
What do you-
don't go into
Hold on,
don't
hold
go
on.
into they're back.
They're back. That's all they
But
need.
they're back. You know what? They're reforming. They're regrowing. You guys didn't re-summon me. You didn't tell me what to say. I just jumped in. What do you want from me? They're
Just
they
they're back.
died. They came back. Anyone who comes back is a little weaker than they were before. Give them some time to recharge, and you'll see the sun.
Listen,
in
no,
like a
they're
week.
back. They're back. Everything.
All
Listen,
you need to know.
the sun shall rise again. The flame has its warmth once more. The forge glows as bright as ever.
The eagle has landed.
Why did you guys put me in this situation? You know I always just blab.
I honestly was just gonna go to you for you to be like, Apollo's back, and then Alexios were like,
Yeah,
Hephaestus
that's
is
what I
back.
thought was happening.
Theseus goes,
Ah,
in the wake of this news, I propose a first step. If the gods are back, then they need all the strength they can get. I will put it to this entire organization to find every worshipper of Apollo and Hephaestus in this city and tell them to get to their temples and pray.
What?
Let us fuel the gods, as you say, Socrates. Let us fuel them as much as we can.
I don't know what else to say, y'all.
Yeah.
Triena stands. I would thank you all for coming. I believe we will be talking, most of us, a lot in the coming days. Which brings the question, Hands of Fate, when do you hope to enact this plot?
That's
We're
dependent upon the once smote and how quickly he can figure out some of the stuff.
We are currently in the prep phase. We are sourcing material and coin for the Once Smote and their associates for the preparation of the plan. A solid timeline has not been set. I would say within the coming month or months. We are going to be working as fast as we can, having this set up, and also taking care of other Hands of Fate business.
As
All
soon
right.
as possible.
In that case, we have no time to waste. Archpriest, you will lead the endeavor to refuel Hephaestus and Apollo. General, you and I will get together to figure out how many of our navy we can spare. Archmage, select those who wish to see this battle firsthand. 3 foot.
Actually, I'm sorry to interject. More specifically, Archmage, could you gather spellcasters who know the spells Glyph of Warding and Slow?
I will see what I can do.
Thank you. Sorry.
The rest of you, we must inform the public that something is going to be happening. Keep the specifics out of your mouths, but let them know the danger. If they wish to momentarily evacuate the city, help them to do so. If they choose to stay, make sure they know what they are deciding to do. We will not fail. We must not. But if we do, I will not let innocent lives go. I hope you all had a good night's sleep. You won't be resting much longer. Meeting adjourned. Everyone stands and bows. What are you guys doing?
What time is it?
It's hard to say.
Do I know?
It's dark.
Do I know about how long I have till I need to leave?
Not really. I mean, even Lysandra saying tomorrow is a weird thing to say because it's always there's no differentiator, you know?
Oh my god.
What if I cast
But right now
haste?
you see people beginning to huddle around Theseus as they began to plot things out. At least some of you will probably want to be involved in those conversations, but
I'm not much
Yeah,
help with this.
I'll go up, figure out the materials stuff that needs to get back.
okay.
This is not anywhere near my area of expertise, guys. I am so sorry.
You want me to cast haste on you so you can catch your show?
I mean, I'm already going to be flying at 80 foot. I'm at 80-foot flying speed as a giant eagle.
160 is better.
Let's go with
And
it.
you're dashing. You'll be there in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna cast haste on it. Or wait, you gotta transform first, I think.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab. Can I have a gate stone?
Oh wait, do we
Yes.
have two?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
still
should
have
have
both the
we
stuff.
should have a pair at least.
Because even if nobody comes with me, then I have a way to get back quicker.
Yeah, take the gate stone.
I'll take one of the gate stones then, and I'll transform into a giant eagle.
All right.
Damn, I really wanted to see that concert.
I mean, I
I'm
have a
gonna-
gate stone. You can gate stone to me.
Yeah, but then you won't be able to get stone back.
If I find a
Okay.
tree, I can get us back.
My God.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go wherever Alexios is going and help.
Haste.
All right. So, as Anura takes off for their concert, and
Hasting.
hasted, and everyone else begins to plan for the siege and the trap of Tromokratis, we will end our session there. Y'all, what you're looking at right now is essentially a battle map, but you guys have free reign to change and augment the battle map however you'd like. Add whatever you'd like. You'll discuss it before next session and during next session, but this is your playground. The pieces that you want on that board, it's going to be your responsibility to get them on that board. So,
I'm like a kid in a candy store right now.
I'm gonna make you regret that.
Yeah, I'm like a kid in a candy store right now, Sammy.
So, with that, we'll see what happens with that next week. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, this episode will be out on YouTube on Saturday. Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.